One, two, three, Rain, talk to me. We're gonna hit a beat and talk about my Eve. Everybody
Oh,
know what I say.
God.
I'm gonna do a beat.
Make it
Why,
stop.
Rain?
It's
Why?
time to
Why?
stop.
Why did you?
Rock, paper, scissors, right? We don't want Eve to be as simple as shut the fuck up, Seto!
Floods of like memes, and these small gangers are like, we're the elite of the elite. Do not fuck with us. We will kill you. We are the best players ever. It's like, dude, I did your shit. I did it better than you did.
You know what this conversation is like? When I say not enough supers die in Delve, and people tell me, oh, look, there's a super died in Delve. So it's like, when
What
I'm
are
talking
you
about
even
the balance
talking
issue,
about? We were talking about fucking balance, not supers
Yeah.
dying in Delph.
Look,
Why does
look.
everything with you have to be about supers fucking dying in
Shut
Delph?
up! Shut up!
Christ!
It's an analogy, moron. It's an analogy. Okay?
You guys stop arguing. You act like a fucking married couple. Jesus
It's-
Christ.
No, don't stop arguing.
It's an
Well, it
analogy.
is Trash Talk
I
Tuesday.
was like,
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Trash Talk Tuesday. I tried very hard to get all of the profile pictures and everything sorted out, but it seems that I still failed at doing so before the show started. But I guess it wouldn't be a Tuesday without a little bit of cracked eggs, right? So, my name's Redline, and I'm joined with a group of people. Almost everybody that you see on the screen here is actually not here. There's a few of us, everybody else is running late, so the show's gonna pop off later on. So if you got something else you want to do, like grab some dinner, play with your cat or dog or something, it's a great time. But we are joined by a bunch of great people. We've got a bunch of great stuff to talk about tonight. First and foremost, I want to introduce everybody. So everybody, why don't you go and just say hi to the group so that we all know who's here. That's you guys.
Let me go ahead and, rather than introduce, I am Rich Richmond, and I'll go ahead and say, Redline, in the meantime, while we wait for the viewers to gather, perhaps you should repair the portraits or just scrap it entirely and build something out of MS Paint, Paint.net, something of the sort.
No, I think I'm okay. I think I'll just leave it the way it is, and then we'll.
Are you sure? Because, let's see, out of the 8 people here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 are not even in the channel.
I know that is quite literally what I just said.
Actually, 5.
As it
5 of them are not in the channel.
Turns out that is almost word for word what I said moments ago.
So, shouldn't we correct this? This is more than 50% inaccurate.
Realistically, it's not like Trash Talk Tuesday has ever been wrong before, so I don't see the issue.
Yeah, I mean, we're not a bastion of, dirty ISK and, being paid to talk about things and do specific stuff. So, I mean, I understand that we're not perfect. We're not perfect, right? It's whatever. It's okay. It's all good, because they will come, and so will the viewers.
Well,
right?
if we're not perfect, then it gives me opportunity to unloose.
That sounds like a quick twist on they must come, Redline.
They have to.
Funny enough, that's what we've been thinking about the Papi offensive for the last, I don't know, 8 months.
Wait, someone in chat just said that it looks like you need to run the heist sites in Dreads? That can't be right, can it?
No, I think they are uncreative and they don't know what they're talking about. There are ways to do it, and people are struggling to find out a way.
Have
But
you
people
figured
will
it out
learn.
yet?
Yes.
You have. Okay. Would you care to impart that knowledge on everybody
No.
else so that we can stop screeching about shit that seems like it's not working? No?
No.
You're gonna stand the top your hill of I know these things and you don't, and just not scream the answer
Absolutely.
down? Okay, that's fair. You heard it here
This
first,
is-
ladies and gentlemen. Rich Richmond is a giant tool.
This is when Rich wants to build his cross. Let's leave Rich to his hill, all right?
We'll do that. I just, that's not gonna bode well for a future CSM campaign is all I'm saying. But it's fine.
Redline, there are
You
some
do what you-
certain secrets I have revealed, such as my crucify fit, but this is a secret that I do not wish to disclose as of right now, for competitive reasons.
Oh, okay. So you're making juicy ISK from, these sites and you don't want to share with anybody? Is that about right?
I may wish to sell this idea to somebody else, and I do not wish for my idea to be muddled or diluted in value.
Oh, sure. Okay. So how much do you want to sell the idea for? I'll buy it from you right now.
I'm not at liberty to say.
I have 100 bill liquid. Just say yes or no.
And he's got Alliance Tournament ships, so this is a secret that you cannot buy from me for ISK. I'm not somebody
Ooh.
who can be just bartered like that.
Okay. That's fair. Whatever. Anyways, we've got Rich here, as you can see. We've also got Rain. She's muted. She muted herself earlier today, and apparently has just continued to stay muted. We've also got Luke Tor from the old Goon Swarm, and
Hello.
Gerg from the Horde. We're also joined by the Dirks to Teal from the Goon Swarm, and of course myself, Redline. You know, we're here doing the show. Other people will join us later on as time goes on. That's kind of how the show goes. Drop in, drop out, whatever. You know the drill. So let's start getting into these topics. Dirk, you were before the show started. You were saying some things about some login rewards. You want to elaborate exactly on what you were talking about there? I kind of liked it.
Yeah, I mean, we've got CCP now deciding that they want to devalue the in-game currency that is interstellar credits or ISK, and yeah, they're doing it in a pretty transparent manner by hooking it up to the daily login rewards that are associated with some event going on. I assume it ties into the sites within the lore somehow.
Yeah,
And
the Great Heist is what it is.
we're really just seeing CCP drive that key activity metric that is the daily active user count.
Well, Dirk, they've heard your complaints and feedback about the current state of the game and how you wished for it to be changed or improved, and they have a response for you. Here's 235 mil to fuck off. I'm gonna give you that.
And do we accept this in exchange for our beloved game going the way of whatever the way it's going? I don't know. Do we? I don't
Well,
think
I'll
so.
tell you what. I'll tell you what. You are free to log in and not click on the button, those delicious buttons, and you are free to
Oh no,
also
I'm
not
clicking on the
redeem the
button.
money afterwards.
Oh no,
But the majority of people are going to accept it, and unfortunately, CCP may see this as consent.
Oh no,
How
I
much?
I am clicking on the button and I'm taking the ISK.
235 million.
Yeah, how much is
Gagarin.
that really worth nowadays? Like, it would have been a lot before. It
It's
would
a
have been a lot 10 years ago, but how much is it worth nowadays?
it's a quarter
Well,
of a battleship.
to a friend of mine who now possesses well over 200 accounts, it combined together, it is not enough to buy a Titan. Not even close.
Well, of course it wouldn't be. It's like 40 bill? 400 bill? Is that math?
I think you should spend more time looking into it, Redline.
No, I won't.
But
Because it's
as for the ISK,
235.
come here,
It's
come here.
235 million times 200. I can
But
just
as for
calculate it.
as for the ISK, all right, Redline, come here, come here. It's free ISK.
Yeah, but I don't care if it. I don't know. I don't really mind it too much. I mean, I started a new character recently, and you get ISK every day for logging in. It's a small amount. It's not 235 million, but like, you know how many fucking Merlins I could buy
Hold
with
on a second. Hold on
235
a
million
second.
ISK? What?
Hold on a second. I recognize somebody in the chat. Moomin Amaton. I've seen his bio. It's rather interesting. It reads like a conspiracy theorist's bio blog. Anyway, he wishes to ask, do I know Omega? No, I do not. And it's ironic when as soon as somebody says somebody has like 100, 200 accounts, the first person you jump to is Omega. I think you probably have more, I guess, obsession and interaction with him than I do ever. No, it's somebody that I know from my old corp, who I helped rat with when he had nothing, and now he's got over 200 accounts and sends me a nice little stipend every now and then to help me keep going. I very much appreciate him, but he's not Omeka.
Your little
Doesn't Marshy
sugar
have more
capsulator?
accounts than Olmeca anyway?
I don't know. I'm afraid these names are kind of foreign to me. They're like the names on a tombstone of some emperor or some king I've forgotten about. They don't
Yeah, they
really mean
basically
anything to me.
are.
They don't mean
Let me
anything
get
to
this
me.
straight, Rich. You have a friend who has 200 accounts who's your sugar daddy.
Well, when he and I ratted, he had nothing. He had two accounts, and I had two accounts, and nobody else would rat with him, so I would scan down the wormhole sites, I would set it up, I would bring my accounts, and I would rat with him. And slowly, we ratted up some more money, and he had 3 accounts. And then we ratted some more when nobody else would, and he had 5 accounts. And I would also rat and help him out when nobody else would. And then one day, he vanishes off the Discord, doesn't respond to any Rock or Tackle pings for 2 weeks straight, and I find him with 24 accounts.
So you're saying that an elite PvP corp like Flaming Dragons really turned people into massive crabs beyond even what Goonstorm was capable of?
Oh yeah, absolutely. The secret is behind some of the most powerful small gang groups are the biggest crabs ever. And Redline, there is a small ganger who wishes to be moved in. Nutrinomics.
Oh, okay, cool. Well, let's move him in then.
Nutrinomics.
Hi there.
Oh,
How you doing, you old pirate?
Just fucking around trying these fucking sites.
it's good to see that there's someone here who's less sober than I am.
So are they broken for you, or have you figured out the secret? Has Rich told you the secret? Apparently, he's the only one who knows.
No, actually, I found the secret from somebody else, but apparently,
What's the secret? Tell us the secret.
the secret is you need a marauder, actually.
There it is. You heard it here first,
Oh,
guys.
man, look
If you want to run the sites, just get a marauder. You'll be fine.
You'll be completely fine. 100% completely fine.
Oh,
You have
and
people in the chat talking about
Marauder?
how
Or
they.
do you need any marauder will do? You know?
hey, speaking of marauders, do they still have 100% ECM resistance in Bastion after that was removed like 3 weeks ago from marauders? Just
I
curious.
have
know.
no idea if they fixed that shit or not. It's rather interesting. But now we know you do not need a dreadnought, contrary to what Twitch chat says. So
Okay,
people are
so you need a
experimenting, people
marauder.
have lost their marauders, and people are learning.
Okay.
What you need to do is you need to really blink, so you know how there's like those 5 bill fits that you can do for electrical sites like T5 and T6 or whatever the fuck they're called.
Yeah, man.
Like you gotta bling the fuck out of the marauder. That's what you gotta do, because there's
Okay.
no way these sites are bugged right now. So the blingier the better. That's
Right.
what I
No
say.
way these sites are bugged right now. That's an interesting
No way.
statement.
Now, see,
Not
that-
a chance. They're
that
bugged.
sounds-
PCP have never pushed a buggy release
Never,
alive.
never. They never do that. That's why, it's really hard. There's just lots of diamond rats. What I would do is I would do a blingy one. But first, what I would do is maybe jerk off with Draglavian and just up your standings with them. You don't need standings with Eden Calm. Fuck those guys.
So Rich, are you sure this is the guy you wanted to bring on? He doesn't seem to echo your same sentiment about, like, oh, you have to learn to be successful and kind of stuff.
Yeah.
He seems to think they're bugged.
This is the
Uphill
kind-
both ways in the snow is the best way to have fun, apparently.
It's 100%.
This is the
true.
kind of way of saying things that makes me love Neutronomonics.
Well, Redline, I put my small gang license upon the line to bring him here, and I will honor that, and he will be here.
Who asked you
That's
to put
why-
a small gang license on the line?
Is that like a mining permit? Has Rich Richmond paid somebody to be allowed to small gang?
Not exactly,
Oh,
but
he
it
got
is.
scammed.
No, not exactly, but it's something similar to like an honor system to say that this is what you're willing to put your honor, your dignity, your name on the line for something. It means something.
It's like a driving license, except unlike renewing it at your local DMV every couple of years, what Rich Richmond does is he raps against Billy on this show, and that's how he renews that license.
It's like, okay, it's like Vikings. Vikings had this armband. Sure, it was just an armband that was bejeweled and of worth some value, but for them to give that armband to somebody to take it off and show their honor, that means they're putting everything of them on the line. And that's what the small gang license
small
is.
gang license is everything of you.
Yes, so when I challenged somebody and I said, I from one small ganger to another, I challenge you to a 1v1. Under honor-bound conditions, we were to fight 1v1 honorably, as God intended, with the same ships, at the agreed-upon location, at the agreed-upon time. And we did. And it wasn't about who wins or loses. It's about having the honor and the integrity to uphold that and to do it.
This is fucking dumb. Everything is about winning
Man,
or losing.
Rich, I tried that in Rio one time. It didn't work. I got fucked.
So, but but what I don't understand is how you put your license on the line. I mean, I don't
You
guess I
verbally
don't
say
really
it.
I guess
You
I don't
verbally say
Oh,
this isn't
care,
a
but
tangible object. You don't have it on a piece of paper. This isn't an item in Eve. You just verbally say it. You declare it. I mean, you
you
have the honor to uphold it and then to have the
okay.
integrity to have it, right?
So, what kind of license do I have as a legendary capsuleer in the Eve trading card game?
I don't know. I don't know what
the
license.
trading card game.
Well,
Hold
hold
on.
on a
There's a
second.
Yeah,
card
yeah.
game.
Well,
Hold
there's
on a
not
second. But Redline,
technically.
you are qualified. You are qualified as and recognized as a fleet commander. That is something you
Oh,
are that I
oh,
am not.
okay.
So Redline has a fleet commanding license, and Rich has a small gang PvP license.
Well, not a license in Redline's
And
case. You're not really you're commissioned to a fleet command. So
oh, so
I'm
Redline has a okay. Redline's
some
commissioned.
sorry.
Right.
My
somebody
FCing
basically
license has been suspended. That's
somebody
why I
has given him the
haven't done it.
credentials to be an FC. Somebody somewhere gave him the credentials to be a junior FC, and he's built upon that, and
Hang
now
on.
he's officially
But he-
recognized
yeah,
as
whoa,
a
whoa, whoa,
competent
but
FC.
but he says it got suspended. How did you get your FC license suspended? What the fuck happened there? Were you drunk driving or like what happened?
So, drunk fleeting. So, you know how
I
if
thought that was required.
you know how if you get like a license to do something like in real life, let's say,
Right.
and you have to take like courses to renew it every so often.
Right.
FCing kind of has that same criteria in the sense that like you have to actually do it, and if you
Did
don't do it, well then your license gets suspended.
did you forget that there were fleet formations now and that like you got fucked by one of those?
No, I actually haven't led a fleet. Well, I have. It was a very small. It was a very small fleet. We went to go defend some Entosis hacking in Esoteria. It was very super engaging content. I loved everything about it.
Yeah,
Just
it sounds so fun.
riveting even. No, it was actually super stupid, and I hated it. And I haven't really properly FC'd since Blackout, so it's been a
It
long
could be
time.
worse, Redline. It
Could
could
it
have been an
be?
ADM fleet.
Well, unfortunately for me, I don't have any ADMs to really defend, so there was no need for that.
Yeah, Blackout was fun. That was back when I actually mainly did small gang stuff, and it was fun.
Blackout
Yeah,
was
that's right.
shit.
What happened? You used to have a small gang license, and then what happened? You traded in for you wanted to run with the Bulls, or
Hold on a second. Just because you're no longer a block level FC, and just because you no longer are in a small gang corp and do small gang like independent small gang, that doesn't mean you lose your license. That doesn't mean you lose your credentials. It just
Yeah, it's inactive.
It's suspended.
once
I-
you have it, it's for life.
No, it's not.
all
Unless you put it on the line and dishonor it.
well, okay, okay. Why don't we do this right now? Let's see if he can renew his small gang license. Gerg, what's your favorite small gang ship? Go.
Omen Navy issue.
Okay, good call. I mean,
You
that
wanna know what
is-
mine is?
you know what? C's get degrees, so I'll give that one to you. Yeah, what? Fire away.
Yeah,
Mine's the Raptor.
this is why I love Newt. Even though I'm not sober tonight, I could
The
always
Raptor.
count
Whoa.
even I could always count on him
I said
being
it.
less
I
sober
said it
than
out
me.
loud, and I'll say it again. The Raptor.
Dude, the Raptor. You know what? Actually, I give you mad props to the Raptor because nobody
Yeah, you
flies the
are.
Raptor, man.
I do. I'm the best Raptor pilot in New Eden.
Like,
Ask
what
anybody,
do you
they'll
run that
tell
thing
you.
with? You run that with rails?
Rails,
a railgun Raptor?
blasters, whatever you want, dude. Medium shield booster.
He ran it with
everything.
blasters in a highly tie-dye fleet, and I instructed him to kill sabers
You
using
didn't
it.
instruct shit.
You might be
Blaster-
the best Raptor
Blast-
pilot, but how much competition do you have?
At least three
He's
other
got a good
people
point.
fly Raptors in space. And
He's got a good point. It's kind of like how I think I have the most Draugr losses. In the
Hold on a
game.
second. Somebody said damned kitey shit. I don't know. Is a blaster a kiting gun to you?
Actually, well, with the Raptor, it's got the range bonus. So I mean, technically, yeah, you can scram kite the fuck out of people in a Raptor. It's not really small gang, but like railgun
Navy issue.
Raptors actually work.
Okay,
Oh,
Gurg.
Omen Navy issue, yeah.
Gurg. Omen Navy issue. What guns do you have on it?
I use Pulse.
Like everybody.
Thank fuck. And what do you do when you want to kill something? You're committing to it.
you kill it. You shoot
I
it.
shoot it.
No. You load conflag and you hit approach like everybody else.
No, you kill it. It doesn't matter how you kill it as long as it gets killed.
Like it's an Omen Navy issue. You can't really like you can try that, but like if you're going after like a big ass target and you hit approach and you've got no transversal, it's an Omen Navy issue. It's just gonna explode. Even if you're in conflag range. Like no, you fucking do typical Minotaur gameplay with an Armar ship. You run around throwing rocks at people until they fucking die. But at the same time, you keep them on a leash. So you run away and you pull them with the leash. So you always keep them pointed. It's not that hard.
So,
Although I've
welcome to
recently
Small
trained-
Gang Tuesday, where we talk about small gang stuff because that is
Teach
topical
him
right
that
now.
Large lasers so I might
Apparently,
start
I
flying
don't.
Oracle.
Wow.
I'm fine to start talking about the cool fleet stuff anytime.
I mean, why? What other thing are you going to do these days? That's right. You're going to go to Delve. You're going to go to like 1DH or PRC8, and you're going to leave a clone there. You're going to bring some ships down, courtesy of PushX. Although I believe this service may be disabled in the coming few weeks with the whole bubble situation. But once you do that, you could just go around and Delve and have a lot of fun.
And
Because
I'll
Rich,
hold you right there, Rich.
Rich,
The
I'm dying
bubbles
to know.
lasted all of about a couple hours, and like it was like 8 bill of bubbles that died, and none were put back up after that. So I wouldn't worry about that.
Also, Rich, how
The
much
grand
how much
campaign.
did PushX pay you for that plug?
Nothing actually. I don't actually. I have never actually used PushX so far. Every single ship in Delve, I actually move myself, and I only move this because of my mastermind of Drifter wormhole logistics.
Oh wow,
Okay.
jeez. Drifter wormholes. Oh, I forgot about those. Those were fun back in the day when people actually used to rat in mine. So, anyways, was there a roadmap that CCP released somewhere? Did we see that?
No, not really.
No.
No. What was
They're
it
relying
exactly?
on what they're doing is they're relying on a cell phone with Google Maps on the dashboard. But the problem is they've driven out of cell phone range, so they have no reception. So they don't know where the fuck they're going.
Basically,
Oh.
Redline, to be clear about what happened, is
Sure.
they dropped the dev blog with some advance notice to some people via the CSM who got permission to share that there was going to be a dev blog with a roadmap. And then what they actually did was drop a dev blog talking about shit they've already done.
Yeah, it's
Oh.
they basically just it was an entire waste of words. Hi, by
the
the way.
road so
Hi.
far,
Hello.
like showing all the stuff that's been changed, like scarcity and surgical strike, and like this is all the stuff that we did. This was great for the game. Is
Yeah,
that the one?
the player base really, really appreciates them telling us everything that they've done so far that has put the PCU in the fucking dirt. Thank you, CCP. We're really, great. Really good stuff there.
I was gonna say, Dirk, they on that dev blog, they had stuff that they mentioned stuff that actually happened pre-COVID. Like I'm talking like over a year and a half ago. They're like, we did this, and then we did this, and then it was like, yeah, we know.
Yeah, we were there.
The very first image. I just pulled the dev blog up. The very first image is the EVE World Tour 2019 poster.
Yup.
Well, that seems fine. I mean, they can take credit for all the changes that have happened to the game since they started making changes to the game. They're allowed to do that. That's totally fine. I mean, I don't know if I would necessarily take credit for a lot of them, but they can if they would like. Should Redline end the pre-show and actually start Trash Talk Tuesday? You gotta give us some trash to talk about, dude. We're trying.
We're building up to it.
Yeah, we're building up. Don't you know we're growers, not showers? If we whip it
sounds
all
like
out
we're
at the beginning,
trashing
you're not satisfied.
Sounds like we're trashing the fuck out of CCP already.
I mean, only slightly.
It's kind of hilarious, especially when you take a look at some of the MER numbers that, CCP published to tell us about the health of the game and the state of the economy, which we all know CCP have been trying to fix for the last 20 months of scarcity. Yes, guys, that's how long it's been. 20 months of mineral
30.
scarcity and economic scarcity.
Wasn't
and
it 30
We're
months?
still in it. No, 20 months. It was
Are you sure?
17th of December 2019 that they started it.
Okay.
I've checked the dates on that twice. But we are now in the worst trade shortage Since INN records began in 2016.
Negative 418 trillion ISK trade delta from January 2019 to June 2021. By the way, 418
Good.
trillion ISK.
Then it
Good.
seems.
It is almost
fuck do you mean
halved
good?
in 2 years.
Then it
I
seems
mean-
whatever CCP is planning is diametrically opposite to whatever the hell you want. It seems their plans do not include you.
I mean, clearly, you guys have forgotten that we're in a global pandemic and supply is short. And what they didn't do was print money because they don't want to do that.
I
You
believe
mean
they
apart
just.
from the 235 million ISK that they're paying us to fuck off?
Yeah,
I'm-
that's exactly what they're doing.
I'm confused. I'm really confused, Rich, because you seem to think that
Hi,
having
confused. I'm Gerd.
you seem to think that having a video game that is playable for more than just people that want to roam around aimlessly for hours shooting nothing but random Vexor navies in sites is a thing that nobody should want, because that's what I want. Like, that's what I've wanted ever since Blackout showed up and everyone was really super defensive about their space and formed
Well-
max for every little thing and ruined the whole concept of roaming fleet fights, which is what I did every single day for like a year and a half when I first started playing. Was
mean, to
lead
be
fleets
fair-
and go get fights, and then I couldn't
What
because Blackout.
what I never understood is why did everyone get so uptight and upset about Blackout? That's what I never understood. It was
They
tremendous.
were filthy crabs.
That's not why I got upset about Blackout. I got upset about Blackout because when I used to go and roam other people's space with a fleet and, look to fight them, I would go and hang out in their staging system, or I would engage a crab that I knew I couldn't kill because, that would cause them to come out and fight. But when Blackout hit, there was nothing to attack because nothing was out crabbing anymore. And
Everyone
furthermore, you
was scared to
couldn't.
undock.
Right, exactly. And you couldn't see, like, nobody could see exactly how many people I had because local was off. So the only option was to form as many people as humanly possible and then just come kick me out of their space, which is really
If
annoying.
players wanted to play with wormhole mechanics, we'd be playing in wormholes.
But anyways, that's why I don't like Blackout, because that took the gameplay that I was predominantly interested in, and a lot of people were interested in as well, and just removed it and turned it into, oh, somebody's in your space, murder them without remorse.
Yeah, but
See-
to be fair, the gameplay you're talking about ended long before Blackout. It ended when
No, it didn't.
It ended with Citadel mechanics. You can't fuck with people on their fucking home staging like you used to be able to 6 years ago. Like you can't shut down their services to be a dickhead to them. You can't do any of that nonsense. Like even you used to be able to shoot their services or entosis their services when they weren't looking. You could bubble the crap out of their undock. You could do a whole ton of other stuff to fuck with them, and you can't do that anymore because you've got PDS on Fortizars, and if you're staging out of anything smaller than a Fortizar, my dudes, you're doing it wrong.
Well, that was never what I wanted to do. Like, the people that would go out with me and then get fights with me, that wasn't our thing. Like, we didn't want to be dickheads, we just wanted to get fights. So that's how we would do it. But then when there's nothing out there to engage and nothing out there that's going to report that you're there, then how could you do that? You couldn't, is what it was. And Blackout essentially took every like motivation that I had personally had to perform that kind of content and threw it in the trash. And it's
See-
never come back. It's been almost 3 years now.
Blackout was really good initially, I will say this. Coming from someone who was in Waffles for the longest time, and then, like, you had the old school PL people show up in droves into our wormhole to go get content. Now, having said that, at the time, they didn't have filaments. I think filaments during Blackout would have been a phenomenal idea. I think filaments were a great idea, executed a little too late. I think filaments plus Blackout would actually add a lot more dynamic to the game because you can get random fleets just flying around and they're yeeting themselves wherever the fuck all over the place, and you never know if you're going to run into another fleet or what. I think that's what I think was missing from Blackout was Geet filaments during Blackout. Like you just
Oh yeah, that would have been great.
Well, you got to remember as well, all the stupid crabs have they had like third party tools that would trigger whenever you were like 6 systems away. And I think everybody got like turned into little bitches because they didn't get to use those anymore. They actually had to play the game and realise that you're in null space and police can't save you or anything like that. You actually have to play the game instead of using some fucking third party tool to save the day. That's all it
Well,
was, man.
never underestimate the ability for Eve players to undermine systems and, well, just meta game it. It's rather irritating, actually. But then again, there's a lot of players who don't understand the mentality of that losing is fun. That sometimes, dying and learn, you get fun out of dying. Sometimes you can't be the fucking Mary Sue. You can't always win. Sometimes you want to put some risk out. Sometimes you want to die. But,
There's also
people
a hell
don't
of a
want
lot
that.
of players, Rich, who enjoy that metagame lifestyle and enjoy trying to outmaneuver people before we even hit a grid, for example.
Well,
it's engaging. It's something you don't get anywhere else.
I'm sorry, Doug. They're not.
Otherwise, losing is fun. If I wanted to play losing is fun, I'd play Dark Souls.
Well, Dirk. Sorry, Dirk. Those they aren't people to me. They're just kill mails.
Yeah,
I
are
would
you
love
saying
to see
crabs
you
aren't
come
people?
collect my kill mails, sir.
They're just kill mails. They're not. There's nobody behind them to me.
Yeah,
These kill mails are how Rich keeps his small gang license.
Yeah, according to Richmond, crabs aren't people.
Well, by
They're not
definition,
people.
they are animals, but
They're not people. They're just kill mails.
I was gonna say, and in certain regions of New Eden, they're just bots.
So, Rich, where do you crab exactly? Like, where do you make your money? The 9 to 5, or do you actually go out in space and rat and mine like a?
Yeah, I do.
You do?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah, I do a bit of crabbing in EC Tag Pieta in Pure Blind. I also
Make sure you all are written down, by the way.
I also run some of the player escalations in Ewok and GTAC M and 93PI. Recently, we had some interesting player escalations. The Golem died. There was a Sharon player escalation that warped to the gate and got bobbled. He died. There was a 2-bill Loki in this ESS site that he also died. The player escalations. You make money off this.
Oh, sure, of course.
I will say this: ESSs are actually really solid content generators right now. Provided you show up with a gang that knows what they're doing inside them, right? Like if you know the rules, then it is actually it's a pretty decent idea by CCP to make a fairly somewhat level ground on how to fight people, right? Like I like the SS. I don't know why people are crying about it. I think it's a great idea. The only thing
why are people crying about it? I don't know. I'm not in tune with all that.
No, it's like people were fucking crying about him at first or whatever, right? Because then they're like, "Oh fuck, we gotta fight these idiots coming in here to steal our money," and they're just crying. People just cry. I don't know why they cry. It's a game. Fuck off.
Well, then you have people like Fraternity, where you have fucking Mogu heavy industry controlling an entire constellation. You try to steal their ESS, and 3 people show up, and then 5 people show up, then 8 people show up, and suddenly you're the prey.
I mean, yeah, but that's what makes it dynamic, right? Like you gotta pick and choose your engagements wisely.
Yeah, don't get between Fraternity and the crabbing.
No, but I mean, you can't because isn't their alliance wallet negative $1 trillion or something because of all?
Well, it's not that, but it's like you go into Fraternity space and you see something like Jason Bourne or Chandler Bing shows up, and they're in a snaked ramjag with links, and things get fun. They know how to defend their home.
Jason Bourne and Chandler Bing. Those
are
that's quite the spectrum.
Yeah.
Where did that come from, Rich? I don't
Well,
understand.
they're notorious enough that I remember their names off the top of my head.
Rich has been watching reruns of Friends, and he remembers Chandler Bing, and he remembers that one time that Matt Damon was the guest star on Friends.
No, that's actually their names. If you search them up, they fly a lot of Ramjags, they fly a lot of Ram Skybreakers, they get involved in a lot of stuff in fraternity, and one of the things they do is they hunt and kill nice expensive ships that small gangers use.
Also, Chandler Bing is Rosemary's alt, and Rosemary's the guy who flies
understand.
the Varger all the time, yeah.
Yes, I believe. Yeah, a friend of mine took away his 5 bill Legion. That's the last time he did that again.
Is this
So
what
is this
small
where we
gangers
invoke
talk
the name
about?
of Von Hall?
Is this all you guys talk about? Is just like your little kills here and there?
I don't
Is
know.
that-
I don't know, Redline. I'm just a line member. I don't have a brain, so I wouldn't know these things.
Yeah, we like to regale each other and other people with tales and epic adventures that we've been on. I guess
Okay, but like, don't
journeys.
your tales have to be regaling first? Like, how hard is it to smash a bug? Like, if you're out walking and you see a bug on the sidewalk, how hard is it to smash it? Really?
If you're CCP, very.
Well, as difficult as it is to run 3 fleets a week.
You know, that's a low blow. One of the lowest that we've ever experienced here on Trash Talk Tuesday.
It's not like nobody has ever mentioned that before on Trash Talk Tuesday.
I don't know, how low can I get, Redline? I'm about 5'9". I think if I get on my knees, I might reach. I could probably go a lot lower.
Oh, you on your knees? Is matter all around?
No. But speaking of which, where the fuck is Bill? I mean, big man, Duke of Delve, boss man himself. I wanted him to be here because he asked me a bunch of questions about Matterall and old Mecca and some sort of alt-right thing, and I told him I really don't pay attention to somebody else quoting somebody else's Twitter. I don't go on to. I don't need my Twitter account. I use it exclusively for stalking tech companies and goading their customer support
right?
into taking care of things. No, that would be my Instagram.
Okay.
Bill
fair.
got eaten by a bear.
But yes, Bill called me out for it because I apparently didn't condemn it, and it turns out I did. And he also called me out on all sorts of stuff. I'm rather irritated by the whole thing, and I want to talk to him about it. But unfortunately, the Duke is missing, so I have to settle for his counts and a baron or two in the current show tonight.
Hey, Rich, have you got a Snapchat account by chance?
No.
Oh, Jesus.
I don't do Snapchat.
What about an OnlyFans page? Do you have one of those?
The thing
no.
is with all that Twitter shit, like, everyone should really just not even bother, because
Do you want me to go on about it, or do you not want to?
No, not
to be
really.
discussed?
Like,
Okay.
it's not even important. It's all fucking fake. Like, it's literally it's just for views. Like,
just for views, anything for views. So this is like, I don't know, the fucking.
I'm sorry.
The things that YouTubers do where they cause fake drama between each other.
Exactly. That's exactly
get
what it
views.
is. It's just, hey, let's get some extra fucking views here on our channel. Maybe we'll get some subs, get to the top of the Twitch fucking leaderboard or whatever. That's all it is, man. Like, that's all of it is.
Are you saying Twitter is an echo chamber? Is that what you're saying right now? Because I don't believe you for a hot second.
No, I'm not saying Twitter is an echo chamber. I don't care about Twitter. But what I am saying is that when you get baited into this kind of shit constantly and you never see that it's a fucking ruse, like, somebody's got to tell you at some point. So I'm here to tell you.
Here's the thing. I don't get baited by it. I got pinged by it. I got pinged by it out of the blue.
By it, just like everybody else, Rich.
I don't pay attention to that Twitter. You know what I'm doing instead of going on that Twitter?
What?
Okay, right. So I got things like, you know,
This wasn't a simple answer.
Yeah, it's not. It's not a simple answer. You know, what I'm thinking of doing is the next day, instead of getting baited by things that he says, she says on the Twitter, I'm gonna go outside. I'm gonna go to the park and run my dog around the park and maybe pick up some trash that the kids leave around. I don't give a shit for that. I don't understand why some members of various different sides of this war pay attention so much to what somebody else has to say about a game, or what somebody else says about somebody else in a game. It's there's a saying: great people discuss ideas. Average people talk about things, and just mediocre people they talk about other people. Let's let's leave that aside. Forget talking about other people. Let's talk about great ideas. I want to hear great love stories.
Okay.
Do you
Would
want
you
to
like
hear
to write one?
love stories about EVE Online?
EVE Online has love stories?
By all
I'd,
means.
So-
I'd be down to hear that.
sounds
I'd be
very-
down
I
to hear
don't-
that.
Rich, don't you need to be talking about people to have a love story?
Sorry,
No.
I'm not interested in Darkshine's fanfiction here.
No.
Thanks.
Darkshine's fanfiction. I have never seen Darkshine's fanfiction. I have seen some of Dawn's erotica.
What?
Yeah, I've read some of that.
I
It's
definitely don't need to be talking about that.
questionable.
What?
There's some how do I say consensual non-consent.
Whatever the fuck.
People
that
write
I would
this.
rather not know more.
So, how far have we gotten through the topics list, guys?
I'm pretty sure we're still at the very beginning, if I'm being honest with you.
So
We've made it to the topics,
Oh,
yeah. Rich has just been
right.
talking about his small gang license and ideas and other people and whatever else for the past like half hour. So
so
I don't know.
So, like, I have a question. What is the deal with this 1DQ, like, scheduled start date? I don't understand. That's one of the topics. I understand we have a scheduled
is.
start date.
It's like
Yeah.
3.5 weeks away, right?
No, it's like
I have no fucking
this
idea.
weekend, dude.
I don't think the move op week counts as one of the 4 weeks Pro God was talking about.
And one of the things I'm happy about is that Neutron Monix is here because even though I'm not sober tonight, that means I'm not the least sober person around.
Gurk,
That is
you've
the
said
fourth time you said
Gurk,
that.
that is the fourth time you said that. Like, how many times are you gonna suck my dick on?
Well, I'm
this?
gonna fucking say this, Nutrinomics. I still remember that fucking night. You brought a bunch of waffles into the fucking wormhole. The first thing you fucking do, drunk as shit, you don't listen to anything I say. You don't listen to anything that any of us are saying. You walk straight to the gate, into some goons. You lose your snake pod, and you leave for the night. There I am, taking care of your guys and providing them entertainment the whole night. That is stressful shit, man.
And that was how I met Rich Richmond. It was a Geolution pod, not a snake pod.
Yeah,
Fucking
that's true.
Genopod.
It was a Genopod because they're way cheaper and way better than snakes. By the way, they're just better in every single way.
You quit on me for the entire night because you didn't listen to us. You were drunk.
Well, yeah,
You gotta ease it off, man. You gotta. I am not a fan of. I'm not a fan of vices, especially not drunk or high Eve players. It's a bad idea. Please fly sober more often.
make me.
Yeah, I mean, what's the point?
I mean, to be
like,
to
if
be,
you
to be
enjoy
fair,
it,
like
just
I
enjoy
don't know
it,
why
right?
you're whining about it. Yeah, exactly. And also, how the fuck if you're based in a wormhole, how the fuck am I supposed to get back there if you don't have a Jita connection, which you never?
How the fuck did you get into the wormhole in the first place?
Pretty sure, if memory serves me, we had yeeted and we found you guys out in local and then decided to go into your wormhole. I think is what happened.
You found a chain that was near Amamake, so you brought us the normal way to Amamake and then through that chain.
That's right. Okay, yeah, that's the one. Yeah. Well, shit happens.
God damn it, Nutrinomics. You know I'm one of the few people in this game that can manually Septipilot and scan wormhole at the same time, right? I could have scanned you out while I was fucking feathering the carrier. Ay, but yes, this is a story of how Rich Richmond met Gagoran and Nutrinomics. Newt, please lay off the alcohol. I don't want you to end up like, I don't know, some of the other EVE players these days.
So,
dude, I can't even
that was
I can't even physically fucking process what the fuck is happening on the show tonight.
It's definitely not trash talk, or any amount of
coherent,
useful
talk
discussion either. Yeah,
it's just Rich. What are we doing?
Rich.
I wonder if we could get away from the story time at some point.
Yeah, that's what stands in solidarity with Dirk Statiel.
That's rare.
I know this is my first time, and we've been talking about love stories in Chandler Bing. I have no fucking idea. What the fuck, man?
I have no idea what's going on too.
What you been drinking anyway, Gag? It's me
Yeah.
that's the one that's supposed to be drunk all the time.
Well, I have an idea. So, what if
Oh no,
we
oh no, we're on trouble now.
instead of letting Rich talk about all the stuff Rich wants to talk about, somebody else talks about something?
Well, what is this red line? What are you talking about with the giant middle finger to something? I don't understand. Explain.
the
Make me
what?
understand here, red line. Yeah, your ping indicated a giant middle finger to trade Tranquility Trade Center
Oh.
thing. What does that
Oh.
mean?
All right.
Oh yeah,
So
that broker fees thing.
we can talk about that.
That's
So
that's a topic.
it is. It's on the list. It's on the list
That
of
is on the
topics.
list, mate. It is on the list.
We should talk about that. You guys want to talk about that now?
Yes,
We
we're
can
talking about that. What the
we
fuck
can
is this
just-
we can
broker
just
fee?
tie
it into
Explain it to
everything.
us.
Educate me, guys. I have no fucking clue.
Yeah,
Well, I don't want.
for the next
Even if you did
3
know,
months, for the next 3 months, the broker fees
Check your
at
fucking tits!
nice. Thank you for the sub. That was great. So for the next
NPC
3
stations is the words
months,
Redline's looking for.
NPC stations have less taxes than the Tranquility Trading Tower, which means
A big fuck off tax holiday.
Which means all the nullsec people who get all of their money from the Tranquility Trading Tower are fucked for 3 months. At the
That's
end
funny.
of the biggest war in the game's history. Can you
Yep.
imagine better timing? Holy
This sounds
shit.
like a wonderful blow to Papi'S SRP funds.
you realize goons are as reliant,
Don't-
if not more.
Doesn't Pappy have more other
I
sources
was gonna
of funds
say-
than
Yeah, we have
goons?
98% of the space, or 98% of the members, or something along those lines, don't we,
Yes,
Dirk?
you are enjoying your blue donut, aren't you?
And we
yes,
can continue to munch on that blue donut while you guys circle jerk in your same 6 systems. I know that you
7.
do your 7. Ooh, in these 7 systems, right? I know that you do crabbing in Hisec and Pochven, for example. You still
I mean, we
can't
recently
super
kicked
rat.
one of your corpse out of Outer Ring that was trying to crab up there.
You kicked one of Marius's corpse?
No. We kicked a goon initiative alt corp out of Outer Ring.
Was that the
Oh.
former Renter Alliance Dark Side of the Eclipse?
Did you
That
fucking
sounds like it was such a challenge for you, by the way.
did you fucking kick out PJ Hustle's thing? Are you serious? And the man hasn't done anything since the shattering, since the burning fountain. I mean, he operated the surveillance network during the fountain campaign, but after that, I mean,
No. The only ones that we evicted up there were the confirmed goons, and it wasn't even Tess. It was a couple of the corps.
who are the confirmed Imperiums?
Rich, Kazanel wants to come. Not Rich, sorry. Redline. Kazanel wants to come and chat some shit. He should be around somewhere to be dragged.
Okay, great.
What I want to know is this has got to be the first time I've heard of actually people living in Outer Ring. I've never heard of people living out there. I didn't know that fucking place existed until now.
Yeah, as far as I could tell, Dark Side of the Eclipse was the first people to ever live at Outer Ring because they got kicked out of Fountain a year ago and then nowhere else to go.
What's
So-
their name? Fane Industries.
Yeah, those
living
guys.
in Outer Ring, are they doing missions for ore, or are they just mining, or are they just what?
Yes.
Okay,
Like, what do you
Good answer.
get from ore missions? Like,
probably ore.
The
BPCs.
the LP that you buy mining ship blueprints with,
There you go.
oh, okay.
or something like that, or it might be excavator drones or something. I know that's
So-
where you get the blueprints for every mining ship larger than a venture.
All right, so somebody kicked out a goon corp that was crabbing or something. That's one thing. So
Not even goons.
what else?
An
What else is
Who's
initiative
in it all?
renter.
Oh, whatever. In it, goons, same fucking thing.
No, no,
isn't
no.
it?
It's not the same thing. It's like three generations separated. It's like you're punishing the king for something that his brothers, uncles, sisters, third son did. It's like no,
Nobody's
man.
punishing any king, bitch.
No,
No
you're
king
not.
rules
You're
forever,
not
Rich.
punishing the king. You're punishing the pauper for something that the king did. Essentially, is what you're saying.
Why would you crab
You're
an
white
outer
knighting the
ring if
pauper
you
at
could
this
go
point.
anywhere else?
I mean, where else?
Well,
would you
here's
go?
the thing, right? Anybody's subject to getting evicted from any space anywhere at all times. So
Prove it.
you can't go crying about it. Oh
I mean,
no,
here's the thing.
these people only tangentially related to Goon Swarm. Oh no, why'd you kick them out of Outer Ring? How dare you?
I mean, okay, Syndicate. You got to deal with like United Fleet. You got to deal with the Old Guard, CVA, the rope layers, and then you got to deal with somebody shooting up the university or the university
You
shooting
have
somebody
to
up
worry
back.
about big scary Eve University. Wow.
And then nearby you got to deal with Forsaken Empire and the fapping people in Fountain, and
Wait, hold up. Wait a second. Did you fucking say Forsaken Empire?
Yeah, Forsaken Empire's back.
How many fucking times do I have to kill Forsaken Empire for them to fucking die?
Yeah, Lord Servant's right
are
there.
they back?
He's up in Fountain. He's doing some shit.
Who is fucking living in Fountain? Who lives in Fountain? I need to
Red Line's
speak
runs
to
out
your
of shape.
fucking manager right now.
Redline's gonna have
Got
to
it.
lead more than 3 fleets a week.
Got it.
Fucking go get him.
So you have the Fappy group. So that would be Fed Up. You have the Bulgarians, the gangbangers. You have few of the smaller groups and Forsaken Empire. Oh,
Who
and you
the
also have Out of the
fuck-
Blue, backed
who
by
the fuck
Volta,
is
going into
Fappy?
there.
By the way,
It's
Fountain
Fed Up.
Alliance is please
It's the
ignore.
people that live in Fountain.
okay. So I need a representative from Fed Up here immediately. Who knows one? Because I have to know if they've collected rent from Lord Servant lately. Because if not, rent is due, and somebody's got to pay it.
I don't know Lord Servant, but I keep hearing about him as some guy who causes a lot of drama. Who is he?
He's probably one of the most annoying people in the world.
Okay.
That's
Lord Servant is a part of the reason why Tribute was mopped up the way it was. Tribute and Vale was mopped up the way it was by Fraternity, partially due to Lord Servant's behavior.
Yeah, because he's a self-serving dickweed.
But he is very good at FC and Gila fleets. If you
No,
like that.
he's not. He's not good
Well,
at
on
anything.
on a scale of coach to poach,
He's a trash can person. He's a literal
Okay.
person made of a trash can.
Okay, Redline. If he's
I
if
had
he's
a
an FC,
collection
what
of
rating?
garbage, if I had a collection of garbage next to me, I would look for the nearest Lord Servant to put it in.
Okay, Redline. From coach to poach, what rating of an FC do you give him?
0.
What, he needs serious coaching? You're gonna give him 0? Okay.
No, he needs Jesus.
Your stream needs
Exactly.
Jesus, given it just crashed.
The
For me.
stream crashed? Stream
No,
didn't
no,
crash.
No,
It lagged,
yeah,
it lagged.
stream's fine, man.
Okay.
Gosh, these professional ass fucking streams, and you
All
want
right.
to say that they
And Redline.
crashed.
Okay, so Fountain,
What?
and then you got Outer Ring, which we've just mentioned. Then you have Cloud Ring, which is Triumvirate. Gas Tyrell is back, and then you shift one system over. You got Pureblind, which is Volta and Renters, and Noraus keeps threatening to invade, but he keeps on delaying it. Right now, he's telling people to go fucking sack Esoteria, so we'll see how that goes. But afterwards, he'll probably invade Pureblind eventually.
Rich, what is all of this
God.
to prove? Because you're just going on a rant about different regions and you keep calling them systems, so that's confusing. And
Frat keeps chewing on rote as well for some reason. They can't seem to swallow that one.
The
Redline,
fucking
if this
sub
was a
notification.
professional ass fucking stream, it wouldn't be allowed on Twitch.
Gerg, you are vehemently redundant. Shit, I can't say
He-
the other R word that I want to say
I
on
know
Twitch.
Neutron Monix is here though, and he might be into that.
So
Gerg, you know those Skyrim NPCs that are like specifically voice acted to sound drunk? That's you right now.
Carmen's not actually here. So guys, on the stream there, you will see some people that are not here. They are showing up as time goes on. Carmen said he was going to be here. He said he'd be late, but he should be
He said
here
he's not
soon.
coming.
What? He said he's not
Apparently
coming?
he's
Channel.
Man.
apparently he's at a pool hall with 13% battery, so he's not going to make it. Carmen, if you're watching your shit.
Yeah, he
He's
better
not
be
got
watching from
13%
his
battery
pool
anymore.
hall.
I mean, to be fair, I kind of wish I was at a pool hall right now with 13% battery.
What is pool hall? What does that mean?
It's where you play billiards. It's
Oh,
like a pub, but like it's billiard tables all over the place. And
gotcha.
Yeah.
I mean, so should I put like X's on the people who aren't here? Is that a thing that I should do? Because I mean, I can.
But
Yeah, just
they haven't
MS,
been
MS Paint it. Just.
Yeah, for sure. Let me just do that real quick, so that everybody knows.
We haven't killed
right?
them yet. They're still on the kill list. Can't
So
X
put
them
the
out.
Trash Talk Tuesday skull over them.
There you
Oh,
go.
like they're dead. I like that. I like the X better just because, the X is cool. But anyways, now's a good time to remind everybody that we are at like 90% of the Webcam Tuesday challenge. So if you want to donate your channel points to something that isn't, ending the stream abruptly, you can. And then,
Or muting Marius.
Or muting Marius. I mean, that is a thing you can do as well.
Isn't that what usually happens?
No, not really.
Maybe we should add an option to mute Gurgerin for
I don't know, man.
like
It
5 minutes.
seems like Gerg is on another level at this moment in time. Like I kind of wish that I was there, but I'm not, right? So I can't be there.
I think
But
at this point we just have to see it through as far as Gerg. Like
just
I
have
want
to survive as long as we can.
Yeah.
So Kazanir's here. I heard that there was some shit that Kazanir wanted to talk. So Kazanir, do you have anything to tell us? If my knowledge serves me, you're the economics guy. Is that right?
Like that. Yeah, I mean, I watched a show a couple weeks ago carefully, and I was really entertained by the portion about the Tranquility Trading Corporation and the various diplomatic agreements that Test Alliance Please Ignore is engaged in. And I felt like there were some mistruths that were uttered. And I was hoping to clarify, since CCP has done us a favor and sort of taken the TTT off the board for 3 months. So for those who are not caught up, there were some changes today. There's a 3-month tax holiday in HiSec that has made GDA 4.4 abruptly better for a well skilled and standing market alt. So we're anticipating that the Tranquility trading effort is not going to be pulling in as much revenue. But I thought, I don't know if you remember the nature of that conversation, Redline, if you want to bring your viewers up to speed on what that discussion was about.
I'm going to be honest with you, buddy. I don't remember what I ate for lunch.
Fair enough.
I remember
I mean,
more or less what was going on, and it was a lot of spin from both sides about who needs it more and stuff like
There's
that.
always spin. Everything is spin.
Yeah, I mean, conveniently for me, the Space Emperor actually leaked this on the Meta Show, I think last week or the week before, that our share is about 20%. That's in the treaty, and I administer all of the payments that we receive and that get distributed to our allies, and the Imperium is part of that, so I'm real familiar with that. I think you can safely reckon with the other two partners that they might be getting substantially more, and then go from there to some logic about who does in fact need it more. So I really was interested to hear Billy say that the ISK is not keeping them in the war anymore, but then of course decline to just unanchor the thing. I thought that was stupendous, as a matter of fact. So I also want to note that diplomatically I'm required to say that we think the TTC is awesome. That's also in the treaty. We think it's fantastic that we're getting all this money from HiSec players. We also think it's fantastic that more of that money has been going to Test and Horde, also in the treaty, right? Been able to fight this whole war with one hand tied behind our backs on the TTC income until today's event. So it's really quite exciting. I just wanted to issue some clarifications because I was upset by the lack of accurate information that was coming out of the show. Because I've been hearing this for a number of months. Like, right, why are goons still in the TTC? Why are we still giving them money? Well, the reason obviously is that they needed the money more. Otherwise, wouldn't have they gotten rid of it, months and months and months ago?
I just want to
that's pretty
quickly
much it.
interject. I want to quickly interject and say that treaty was fun to write.
You wrote the treaty, so you're the reason that the high-sec markets are ruined?
Not me specifically.
But we blame you, and we can
What a
fully blame you.
You can
backpedal.
blame me. You can
Blaming
blame
him
me.
is a great idea. I agree. I think technically it was a horde idea. I don't know that for sure. That might not be true. But we were approached, right? Like to
Test.
combine
Test
efforts.
dropped it.
Yeah, right. So Test is administering it. But yeah, they just wanted to make sure we weren't going to kill it, right? Because of course it would make an inviting target, and that was a good payoff.
So
number.
why don't you kill it? If it's something that you feel is a strong economic backbone of the enemies that exist against you, why don't you just go and kill it then?
There were some words that Rich used earlier, Kaz, and I just want to reiterate them. Free money.
Okay, sure.
Yeah,
like I get
something
that,
like
right?
that.
I get that, but at the same time, if it's not something that helps you and it helps your enemies, and you literally just described it as having hands tied behind your back, why don't you just go ahead and cut the other guy's hands off? I mean, not Gigax style, but metaphorically. Jesus Christ.
Man, hey,
So-
I understood that reference. That was good.
So metaphorically, why don't you go cut their economic hands off, and then I don't know, have a better foothold on the economic high ground? Because I mean, you've obviously already got the high ground when it comes to your economy. I know this to be true because I was in Goons for long enough that I made a small fortune that I then spent on not requesting SRP. But it's a thing where it's just if it's not helping and it's actually hurting, then just get rid of it.
I mean, it's an interesting question, right?
Well,
I think Goonswarm makes a big thing out of sticking to our diplomatic agreements, right? Like I said, I endorse the TTC. That's right in the treaty. I wouldn't want anyone who strikes a treaty with us to think that we would be later looking to undermine it. I started playing this game in 2010. I'm hoping that I can be playing this game far into the future, assuming it does well. And Goonswarm's commitment to that is important, right? And it's important in a way that has brought us to this point. I don't think that's worth undermining for the TTC, as a matter of fact. I think that is bigger. And it's also way more fun to brag about beating them with one hand tied behind our back, honest to God.
Well, Redline, I understand that you jumping corpse demonstrates that you...
It's okay. It's fine. It's okay.
Jumping sides and such. I understand that. To me, that shows you're not a very long-term thinking person. You're not very pragmatic in your views.
Well, you're an idiot.
Think of it this way.
I don't really care what you
think of it this way. It wouldn't make sense to try and mess with it. It wouldn't be worth the risk. The Tranquility Trade Tower
Why not?
It's one of the most successful things.
For who?
Scheme
No,
set
in
up.
fairness,
It pulls a lot of money with very little
Rich,
upkeep, and it currently works right now. And
right,
honestly,
it doesn't
given
work
everything
right now. For three whole months, it will not be working.
Well, for three whole months, it won't work. But prior to this, it worked. There was no reason. It just wasn't worth the risk.
But according to Casimir here, right, it's a 4-to-1 ratio as far as the profits are split.
It could be a
Papi'S
0
getting
to
4 shares out of 5 of the profits.
Yeah.
So why don't the goons just show up and shoot it in the same way that they're asking us why we never unanchored it?
Well, you got to calculate your risk, and sometimes that
because
that
end of the day,
4-to-1 ratio is an acceptable risk.
If you're up against an existential threat like Goonswarm obviously is, there is no such thing as.
Then it's
That's fine.
not
What do you mean
anymore.
not anymore?
No,
What
not
do you
anymore
mean?
for 3 months. But you do understand.
We're never up against an existential threat. Come on, we'll keep.
Where did
drinking
all your
together
space
and
go,
playing
asshole?
Okay.
Where did all your space go? Did
Okay,
it just poof
hold
in
on
the
a second.
thin
Hold on
air?
a second. It just
No,
wasn't.
you took the
Despite
space,
despite
that's fair enough.
despite
Guys,
the fact
that is
despite the fact
the
it's a
quote
4
of
to
this
1.
show. Okay.
You say 4 to 1, but it seems your leadership believes that
Where
is an
did all your
acceptable
space
risk.
go,
Is an
asshole?
acceptable loss.
As for
Oh,
like,
look, end of the
where did
day,
our
man.
space
Like,
go? What do we
hang on.
need space for? We're still fine. We're still
Look.
here. You're still sat there doing nothing. So at the end of the day, I think.
Well,
we're
hey,
fine.
there's
3 days.
3 days, dude. 3 days, and it's the end of the road for you. That's another topic. Flaccid pickle and a brick wall, baby. What happens? What happens when it goes? Nobody knows.
Mass
Well, we do
insurance
kind of
fraud.
know because it's been happening for like 3 months already. But now it's different, right?
Redline, you're such a naysayer. I
What?
can't deal with you.
What do you mean? I'm just
I mean, look.
curious. What's the difference between now and 3 months ago? I think the difference is that there's no USTZ presence in Northern Coalition, and there's also waning morale on the Pappy side and rising morale on the Goon side because you literally just gave them a timer and said, hey, if you sit here and put your finger in our face for 4 weeks, we'll fuck off, promise. Like, who does that? Who the fuck thought that that was a good idea? I realize it was none of you
They're on the
here
option,
because
right?
literally nobody here is on the decision-making channel of any Pappy discords, which I think is
Right.
the beautiful part about the show. I mean, Kale might be, but not like, not you're not in FC Secure Plus Double Secure Plus Triple Sec, right?
Or
Redline,
am
did you
I?
just out yourself as Pappy Snowden?
I would never out myself as Pappy Snowden.
Maybe Chaos Happy Snowden. Never know.
Dude, I'm dyslexic. You can tell if it was me just by the lack of grammar and bad spelling.
But either
Alright.
way, at the end of the day, right? There was all of this roaring, right? Roar, and then it just turned into a whisper. Roar.
Maybe
For
I'm
what?
Pappy Snowden.
You're not Pappy Snowden, Gerg.
You're
Nobody
not
would
Pappy
trust
Snowden.
you with a fleet of fucking Corvettes, let alone the military secrets of 102 Alliance coalition. I'm sorry, was
I think
that
there's
mean?
too many. There's too
Is
many
that what they're
big
down to?
words.
102.
There's too many big words in the Pappy Snowden link for Gerg to have written it.
Not enough
Yeah.
alcohol, obviously.
I am
Yeah.
secretly
Not enough
the-
slurred writing.
I'm secretly the overlord of Pandemic Horde's super capital fleet. Johnny Trouser Snake doesn't ping without me telling him to ping.
That's an interesting thing. You heard it here first. Gerg will lie on twitch.tv for views.
That's this whole show.
Lying? What? No, but really though, think about it. So let's talk about the flaccid pickle into the brick wall. So, Marius, I'm curious because, I think you've got a brain up there somewhere, hiding
So
deep
I think
behind all
I
the
think
smoothness.
flaccid pickle against a brick wall
Mhm.
is a bit much. How about a frozen pickle against some bricks that aren't held together with mortar?
Well, I would say
it can be
frozen.
flaccid and frozen.
Hold on,
It's just
Dirk.
that
I've got a sick burn. I would say frozen pickle, but frozen pickles are hard, and categorically, most people in Pappy I've met are pretty fucking soft.
Nice mic drop there, buddy.
Did the mic drop?
No, it didn't.
Oh,
They
I
have
dropped the mic.
special pills that
I
let you
dropped
get
the mic.
hard.
I got
can't
it.
even
got
argue with him.
Yeah, Redline. All it takes is just one gas station pill, and then you're in there.
What?
You're all the way up in there.
Guys,
Yeah, you
don't shit talk my analogies. My analogies are 10 out of 10. 100% of the time, I am the #1 analogy maker in New Eden. There's no contest here. None.
60% of the time, it works. All of the time.
Stop that.
And I think the analogy better to do would be the immovable object and the unstoppable force. Like, Goons are the immovable object, we've got the unstoppable momentum, it's which one breaks first.
Well, what do you think's gonna
That
happen?
analogy really doesn't work because
It kind of does.
I'm not even going to try and explain that.
It kind of does.
We've
Because
been
if you think
rolling
about
through
it-
your space for a fucking year. You haven't stopped us. I think unstoppable force, pretty good fucking analogy. Last couple of months, we've been beating our head against 1DQ and haven't been able to crack it. Unbreakable object, pretty good fucking analogy.
So
Sit your
this
bitch
is
down.
you stopped at 1DQ's constellation.
Yeah,
Then
This is a
been
pretty
stopped.
this is a
It's
pretty
not
good point in
unstoppable if it's
chat.
been stopped.
This guy, I think Rochambeau is how you pronounce this.
Okay, great. I
He
like where
says
this is going.
he says the servers will break first. And I think that's very true. I think goons are definitely willing. I think both sides are willing to put enough on the field where server instability will play a huge factor, just like it did in M2 Part 2.
It'll be
But,
like
I mean-
how in the fall of Cadia, the planet broke before the guard did. The
No one
servers
knows what
broke
that
before the
means.
fleet did.
What,
when
what,
did
what
Richard
Is
what
this
are you
some-
talking
storytelling
about?
contaminate?
Is this
everyone
some
else?
Media
fucking
stands.
nerd ass DC Comics ass fucking backstory?
No, it's Warhammer 40k.
Yeah,
Oh,
what-
that's
Media
somehow
fucking
worse.
stands.
What Marius said is interesting, but like the M2 armor timer went fine, and there were nearly as many people there. Why is everyone blaming the server?
Nearly as source needed.
For what? How many people were there?
Yeah.
Dude, there were let me check this real quick. There
So
were
Kazanir,
almost
you're
as many
absolutely right.
people. There were almost as many people ready to jump into M2 as there are people online in Eve right now.
Yeah.
I think M2 Armor Timer was like 8,000 people in local, but the whole timer was when we tried to jam 13,000 plus, and it just went nope.
That sounds about right.
So then comes the spin of the goons say, "Oh, why did you have to jump all your guys in at the same time? Where's the real alternative?" But they don't want there to be a real alternative
the
because that would mean that they were assailable.
Yeah,
And
well,
they're
no,
currently
It's not
using
asking why you
they're
jumped,
using
where you jumped. Never mind.
Of course,
where you
there are
jumped, how many
alternatives.
people.
the
All Pappy had
I
to do
never
was
saw
not be
more
late
than
for the
around
timer.
5,000 in the armor timer, and I was there for the whole thing.
Kazanir, you guys were up. You had your caps out hours in advance.
Oh, sure. But I mean, that doesn't
So
change the
it would
fact
have
that-
been the same thing hours earlier.
doesn't change the fact that you guys were late to the timer because people were too busy moving Titans all the way.
So
across
how
the
early
server.
do you, how early does one need to be to the
The
time?
day
Well,
before.
when the other
You have to
one's
show- you have to show up the day
You have to
before.
you
I
have to
have an
show
answer
up.
for this.
You have to show up when the reinforcing happens, right? You have
Yeah.
No,
to.
it's not about that at all. I mean, it's about, let's go back to 2 weeks ago when someone asked Villy who decided to jump in. But that's not the right question. The problem was that they were late to the timer. They had to make a choice in a very short time because all that time had been expended getting their Titans across the universe. So because they had to make a choice and they had brought all that crap, they had to jump in there. Everyone was thinking they were going to go in. There was no one with the stones to be like, wait a second, this is a horrible situation. We should back off. That was the right choice, was to bail on the timer because it was not assailable. They had made too many mistakes leading up to it, right? That was the right strategic choice, and no one had the stones to it. It's not about who decided to jump in. It's about why do all these guys who are running serious nullsec alliances not have the strategic wherewithal to say, this is the wrong choice, we should not jump. That would have been the correct choice.
I don't disagree, and I'm sure if Billy was here, he would agree with you that it was
So-
the wrong choice to jump in like that. What I'm asking, Kazanir, is should you have to show up to a timer 12 hours early, 8 hours early, 14 hours early to be considered on time?
You show up
No,
before the
I
other
didn't say
guys
that
are.
at all. You just have to show up in time so you don't make stupid decisions 5 minutes beforehand. That's
I'm probably going to get demoted by Probot again for saying this, but the culture that Goons has of where they are happy to show up 2-3 hours before a timer and sit there is like a good fucking strategy. Like, I got to tip my hat for you guys actually being willing to sit there for that fucking long doing nothing.
I mean, turns out we actually like each other's company by and large, so it's not a huge, struggle to turn up a
Green
bit
hype
earlier
train
and
working.
shit talk.
Yeah, goons might like goons, but not many other people like goons.
There's enough of us that we don't care.
It's true. There's so many of you. If there were less of you, there wouldn't be as many.
That
I
is
mean,
also
when
a
I-
truism, Redline. Well
when
done.
I-
Redline.
I'm
when I
not,
joined
I'm not
Technically
Goons-
true.
envious,
The
but
best
I like
guided true.
when my member corp joined Goons, they owned all of 2-star systems, and they took care of us pretty good. So
Didn't one Graf Telkin once say something like he couldn't stand being on a goon spy character because there were so many thousands of them in comms and they never stopped talking?
Actually, you know what? I can actually add something to what Gerg is actually talking about here because I have regular talk with Grath Telkin. Grath had some RL, like he had back surgery because he fucked up his back working, and Amok sent him this massive gift basket of like steaks and stuff, like literally like multiple hundreds of dollars of groceries. And I heard about that and I was like, fucking well done, Amok. Like that's a bro move.
Yeah, I mean, Roth said many things in the past, including "shut the fuck up, you fucking moron." But here he is in Goons having some fun. So,
I mean, yeah.
Where
like,
do we end up at the end?
He's in Goons having fun, and you know what? Like all the power to him. Like I don't fly with Goons, but you know, Grass a fucking good buddy of mine through Jeff and all the guys on OG comms, and I love those guys. So and like hearing that Amok sent him this giant fucking get well soon basket was like that was awesome. Like
Yeah, that's definitely a good thing to do. Like one of the things
Fantastic.
that I regret is that I started playing Eve too late to have been yelled at by Grath.
That's some of the community shit that I like to hear about, man. Like that's some good shit from a mark.
also right like that's the thing, like I had to share that because like you know Gerg brought it up, but I was like I remember like yeah Grath showed all the stuff that fucking Amok sent him and I was just like wow, that's like they deserve mad props for that. So I guess it's kind of the opposite of Trash Talk Tuesday. It's like positive Talk Tuesday.
Like
I mean, sometimes that does happen, you know, and it's fortunate that the show is only called Trash Talk Tuesday. We don't always have to trash talk. I mean, sure, there are moments where I can say things like everything. Sorry, I got distracted. The nobody's having volume issues as far as I can tell. Everything's been fine. But you know, I'll turn it up for you so that you can hear it if you can't.
yeah, like in game, still gonna have to say that amongst my mortal enemies. But if they do something like that, I have to commend them.
Do you?
Yeah, but you know what? The honest to God truth is that I think that most fucking corps would you know step up for their members that way. Like I mean, granted, the biggest thing that comes to mind is when Sort Dragon crowdsourced a fucking computer from his alliance.
Didn't our old friend Zoran do that too?
Oh, I'm sure it's been done multiple times. But you know, like that's why like I still have yet to go to a E Vegas or a fan fest, but I'm hell bent on going to the next one because I think it'll be just a jolly old time.
What?
Yeah,
So
I wouldn't mind.
what
going to a,
are you having trouble funding it? Cuz I'll beg for money right now if that's what you need.
No, okay. The reason I haven't gone to a Vegas or a fan fest is because actually it's literally career uncertainty over COVID because I was supposed to start training for this new job, but that got shut down because of COVID because I was supposed to become an air traffic controller, but obviously that didn't become a thing. So I'm literally at their beck and call type thing, right? So it's like if that happens, I'm kind of like RL's gotta like take a fucking and Eve's got to take a back seat for a little bit there because I gotta train to do that job.
So basically what you're saying is if you were independently wealthy, you could definitely go. So if we got enough subscriptions and gave you enough money, then you could just live at Eve Vegas, right?
I mean, like, I don't know why you guys want me to live at Eve Vegas.
Why not? Someone's got to.
Yeah, Newt, I want to hang out at one of those Eve events with you.
Gerg just wants to spend time with you. I think he's got a crush on you, if I'm being honest.
I think he does. I know. I'm gonna teach. I can't wait actually because I'm gonna teach Gerg how to shotgun a beer for the first time ever. It'd be great.
Gerg's never shotgunned a beer?
I don't know, Gerg. Have you ever shotgunned a beer before?
Probably.
Is this a skill we want to teach Gerg?
Anyways, so let's
No,
shift
No,
this.
you're
Let's
absolutely
shift.
right,
yes, it
dude.
is. Yes,
Let's
it is,
shift our
actually.
talk show here back to EVE Online a little bit because there were some real topics that I wanted to talk about, and we touched on a few of them, but we've got 40 minutes. Let's actually talk about EVE, right? Let's actually talk
Newt,
about the
I
stuff.
thought you were gonna say you were
So
gonna
the
teach me
first
how to be
thing is
gay.
that we've got here, we've got the patch notes. Obviously, the great heist stuff came through, and that is what that is, and everything, and all that fun stuff. But it's all kind of so Rich maintains that there's a secret way to do it, but I don't think there's a secret. I think it's just bugged. What do you guys think? Do you think it's bugged, or do you think
It's
there's
not
a
a
secret
secret,
that
you
Rich won't tell us?
pillock. Anybody could figure it out. It's
You've
just.
literally called it a secret live
Well,
on there.
I'm not
Rich.
revealing the details of how I do it, but there
Okay,
is a way to do
that's
it.
fine. So then, if you're
It's
not
not a
revealing,
secret.
if
Well,
you're not
it's a
revealing it,
secret
then
in the
it's a
fact that it's-
fucking secret, is it not? If it's something that you know that you're not
It's
gonna
all-
fucking tell
I'm
anybody
fairly sure
else,
somebody
is that
else-
not you keeping a secret from other people?
I am keeping a secret, but it's not a secret
Oh,
technique. Like,
okay,
people
so
have
it's a
figured out.
secret.
People have emulated it and
you
used
said it.
similar methods.
It's a secret. What is a pillock?
Rich,
What the fuck is a pillock?
Hi,
it's
keeping a secret.
it
I'm
means
Gerg.
idiot.
Don't
Anyway,
ever call
It
me
means
that
Norman
name because
idiot,
I
but
don't understand
yeah.
what that is. Anyways, there's some sort of secret to making it work, which usually just means that it's bugged and you got to figure out. Otherwise, just wait 5 hours for something else to happen. Easy peasy, whatever. But not only that, but who else is nationalizing all this shit?
To give Twitch chat some context, basically, when
Fuck
Rich
Twitch chat.
used Pillock there, he was calling Redline a grade A fucking dumbass.
Wow, that's super toxic.
Was he calling him a bell end or not quite that far?
I know what that is.
It's equivalent.
Oh, okay. So wait, we're talking about the sites where like you basically have to launch the nuclear missile and then race the gay, right?
Sure, yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah. Apparently you have to launch the nuclear missiles, so that's a thing, which is really annoying, but it's a thing.
There's also
I
the bit
don't-
where you
what
can
is this?
cloak in the site that you're not supposed to be able to cloak in.
No, you're not. You're not supposed to be able to cloak in a site, obviously, because it's a Dead Space site, so you can't activate a cloaking device. So that's kind of useless, except for if you're using, let's say, I don't know, Tengu to get there. In which case, yeah, I mean, you can cloak anyway there, or a Stratios. I don't know if a Stratios works in these sites. What I do know is, yeah, you basically have to turn the nuclear missile keys on the entryway, and then you have to take the gate, and then at which point I was informed by Squishy that the diamond rats like spawn double or something, and that's why the site is bugged. Because they're all like just Edencom just shows up and just gangbangs your ass. That's what I've heard.
Can we just
I
clarify,
feel like
that's
with that,
3
you've got to-
potentially buggy behaviors in less than 3 minutes.
We
Well,
could clarify
okay.
that, yeah.
I
But
can-
Rich
I
says
can-
it's
I
just
can-
a secret.
I can understand that. I can understand the nuclear missile thing where you have to so you warp in, you activate the gate, you go into the room, you have to bypass the minefield. 2 of you have to go to separate fucking spawn containers that you normally see in a data site, and you
It's
have
very
to
good
hack them.
CCP acknowledging that players have ults.
Right. And so you have to zip around over, so one to the other, and that sort of thing. And then you have to both activate your hackers within 15 seconds. And then you have to hack it. And if you fuck up, you can't activate the gate anymore. But if you do, you have 2 minutes to race back through this minefield to the gate, activate the gate, and then that's when you have to deal with the Edencom Diamond Rats.
So,
which is apparently where everyone's been losing their Marauders.
so to be clear, after you've raced back through before you race back to the minefield, you're saying that you can break the site by not hacking it properly.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying you have to hack it properly. It's like turning the keys on a nuclear
Yeah,
submarine.
no,
You have to do it at this.
But you said if you
Same
don't
time.
hack it properly, then the gate locks.
No, yeah. If you don't hack it properly, so if you don't do it within 15 seconds, or if once you both start the hacking game, if you're doing it with a buddy, which is I think what CCP is intending, not to do it on all, but like if let's say you're either dual boxing or you and a friend, like a friend and I tried to do earlier, if you guys both try and one of you fails at the hacking game, like you would in a normal data site, then the site closes on you for an indeterminate period of time.
It's like 5 hours.
Can you warp out then?
Yeah, of course you
Yeah,
can
sure.
warp out. Like there's no rats. Like you can fuck off at any time. I don't know if the Eden column I don't know if in room 2 the diamond rats point you or not, because I never made it that far.
So just to be clear, the site doesn't despawn if you fuck up the hack. It just locks for a period of time.
It
that
locks.
is
It locks
apparently
for
roughly about 5 hours.
Yeah, correct. But the thing is, here's the real kicker: is that it only lets in 3 people at once. So like, you could end up with like, you could end up with like 3 people on the inside, and then you could have a bit of a like a PvP gangbang of like people fighting each other in the line while the bouncer's waiting to figure out which of you is going to pay the most for cover charge to get into the club.
And
That could be a thing.
And this, of course, is where the behavior that might be a bug, but according to Rich, isn't a bug, of some people being able to cloak in specific circumstances in the site kind of.
I never said anything about that.
Yeah, no, Rich, you said the sites were perfectly fine and that people just needed to get good.
I said the mechanics, not the fucking cloak thing.
You did say that people just needed to get good, basically.
Look,
that was
if
the
people
size
can
of the
cloak in the site when
conversation.
they're not supposed to be able to cloak in the site, that's a mechanical failure.
I didn't say a damn thing about the cloaking in sites.
Yeah, but it's a mechanical failure. You claim that the mechanics are fine, and yet
you know that Rich and Adam have been perfecting this shit on Sissy for the last 2.5 weeks. Trying to
It wasn't even released on Sissy. You can't
Yeah, it was
min-max
never
this on
on.
Sissy. And
It
people
wasn't on the test
Hold
server.
on a second. People are
it went
ass mad
to
about
live with the bugs.
People are upset about the fact that they didn't have it on Sissy, that you couldn't test it. And I don't care about that, because why should you be able to test it on CC and find out?
To make sure there's no fucking bugs!
Oh, no, you want to test it on CC so you know exactly what you need to min-max it the day it releases, don't you?
No, because the day it releases, there shouldn't be any fucking bugs. You can't min-max shit if there's no fucking bugs, Rich.
Marius, do you remember that one time when I was like, "Hey man, you don't have to scream. You're talking to a microphone." The same thing can happen now. Like you don't have to scream, friend. It's okay.
I wasn't there for that red line, and I'm sorry, but I'm getting pissed at his logic.
Consider people do both.
Okay, then people do both. That's great. The keys have to come from somewhere. I would just like that those people who want to go out and farm the keys so that I can buy them from the market have a functional game to play and not a buggy piece of shit.
Well, you can't buy them on the market, though. That's the thing.
We shall see how.
Sorry, are they contract only?
Yeah.
It seems like.
Well, that's even a. Wow. Okay. Thanks. CC. Well done, CCP. Bravo.
Yeah.
Slow clap.
Fucking wow moment, right? I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad
Round of
thing. Is it a good thing
applause.
for? Like, do you think that's a good thing or a bad thing for you? Like, I
think that's a phenomenal. You know what? I think the contract only is a phenomenal thing because it adds a lot of, like it's almost like they're trying to do like whatever the fucking GTA 5 massive heist that people. I don't play GTA 5, but like the one that like, people always talk about, like, and you have to set it up forever. Like, it's interesting gameplay that way. I like that actually.
I think this circles back to some of the comments that we've had earlier about, CCP trying to artificially drive up numbers that they don't like in their MER or internal metrics by making this contract only. There's really just it goes into a specific metric on the MER that isn't trade volume.
No,
which then drives up the ISK velocity that they like to talk about.
You know where they should have made them only tradable? On the hypernet. That would have really triggered the fuck out of people.
I mean, is that what CCP should be doing right now? Is trying to trigger people? Like, honestly,
I can see no issue with CCP riling people up. No
But
issue at all with riling their paying player base up.
Scarcity is ending, so we can't criticize CCP at all because they're finally ending scarcity.
Which it's scarcity for everyone except for the Tranquility Trading Tower.
Like, no, because that's going to be over in 3 months. That's a separate thing. But let's talk about scarcity ending. in the dev blog that was 80% of bullshit they've already done,
Right.
CCP talked about scarcity ending in Q4 2021. So we're talking October through November, which, if people were listening earlier,
or December, maybe, but knowing CCP, probably December.
It's October through December, and so if people were listening when I said we were in month 20 of scarcity now, we could in fact beat a full 2 years of scarcity before CCP, put a stop to it. 2 years of this, I have to say it, absolute horseshit.
I mean,
well, that's just your opinion. But anyway, I am excited for what they might actually, because this is very vague at the moment. But I was saying a show or two ago that maybe the carrot at the end of the stick is actually going to be cool content. Maybe there is going to be passive moons again. There's going to be shit in nullsec space worth fighting for again. That'd be cool. It'd probably reinvigorate like actual border conflicts again, instead of just fighting for fighting's sake. But we don't know because of all the vague terminology that they're using. All they said is that the concept of scarcity is ending in Q4 2021.
Am I the only one who wants more or just new toys to play with? Am I the only one who thinks that we just need bigger and better things because we've already min-maxed the fuck out of this game and figured out how to just
bigger and
farm
better
resilience?
in what ways? Because we definitely don't need ships bigger than Titans.
Tech 2 dreadnoughts.
I'd like to see the ships that
Juggernauts
were balanced in a decent way.
Angel capitals.
Well, I'd love to see Angel Capitals, actually. Give me my fucking 5 AU a second Titan base. Just please hand it to me.
Sancho's Nation dreadnought that can keep moving with its afterburner while sieged.
That would actually unironically be really fun.
Especially because an angel dread would have projectile guns, so drifting in the tracking would be so good.
I mean, I want to add, I think I agree completely that the game needs to progress, right? Like you need new systems, you need new ships. At some point, some edition of the game becomes solved, right?
I mean, I don't think we need new systems, but new ships, 100% for sure.
Okay, Neutron, what kinds of ships do you have ideas for? What would be a good ship class to add to the game, or what are we missing?
Logi battleships.
No, we have the Nestor.
No, I think we need. Okay, so you've got. So when it comes to battleships, you've got Blops, and you've got Marauders, but I think a really cool class of ship would be a Tech 2 version of, let's say, the Hyperion, the the Roke. Like that whole class of battleships, right?
Do what?
That does what?
Like, I'm trying to think here.
So I have an idea. It might be a really stupid idea, but this is just like, I was in your shoes right now where I was like, what would be a good new T2 class of battleship? Oh, I know, something that could prevent everyone else from landing a Sino. And it'd be like kind of a brick tank ship, much like the Hyperion. It's a really good brawler or something. It'd be like
active tank on it. I like that idea, actually. I think
so.
That's a great idea.
It would be like the Sino inhib ship or whatever. I don't know but that's the thing. And then it would need like a really it would need like a NOS to run. And as soon as it's sucking off a ship that doesn't have any cap anymore, then now it can't run its Sino inhib anymore. So there needs to be like a capital on grid or something that it can leech cap off of. Like that would be a way to balance it. So you can't just like have the ship on grid. It's really hard to kill, and then now there's no way to light a Sino.
What about a Tech 2 version of the attack battle cruisers like Oracles and Nagas?
Yeah, so I was also thinking this has just become
I like that idea too. Actually, that's a pretty.
What about playing Final Fantasy 14 while people get their shit together.
Imagine,
This is
imagine Tech 2 tornado fleet.
hold
Like,
on,
just imagine
hold
that.
on, Luke, because I was thinking of that exact thing of like, and it would be cloaky like stealth bombers are,
No,
but obviously
no,
it would
not
have.
cloaks. They go
They're not
fast.
cloaks.
They do more damage. You can alpha a carrier.
No, you should not be able to alpha a carrier.
I mean, we almost did it with Tech 1 once, so Tech 2 should
But
be
how
able to
many
do it.
did you
So
have?
you can take a Blops bridge, but you can't do a cloak on these.
50 tornadoes around about.
Okay,
40,
I
50.
like that, Girk. I was
How
also
about we
thinking
actually,
about like,
fix the ship balance on existing ships before we
so
go
what's
adding new
unbalanced at
bullshit.
present, Dirk? Because everyone always says that, and during the Spipple meta, it was kind of true. But I want you to say like, point in fact, what is unbalanced right now?
There's always going to be like a slight bit of imbalance, but that doesn't mean that you can't add new stuff.
Exactly.
Because then you're
Exactly.
never going to be adding new stuff.
What's unbalanced right now? What's the overpowered part of the meta? I think things are relatively balanced now.
I was gonna say the Stormbringer versus all the Munins kind of proved that Munins are not nearly as powerful as everyone makes them out to be.
Yeah,
So there's that.
Munins,
Like,
especially
Munins
after
are-
the Sig radius buff got taken away completely for hacks, Munins and Eagles are not unassailable.
Actually, okay, so here's one rebalance I would bring to hacks. I would say bring back the Sig radius bonus to the Vaga, the Deimos, the Sacrilege, because why not? Or no, actually the Omen, or not the Omen, the Zealot, and the what's the fourth one I'm thinking of here?
There
What's
isn't the
the
fourth one because you're talking about
Cerberus?
caracals and you're talking about
Oh
Cerberus
yeah,
and
you
Eagle.
got Cerberus and Eagle. Oh fuck, which one do
So
you
you're
actually bring the bonus back to? Shit.
Serb probably
Exactly,
because
yeah.
it's the faster one. Yeah,
Yeah.
you would do this for the faster ones, and then you'd probably balance it out. You'd like add a low slot or something, or tweak the.
No, to balance it out, you would reduce the base lock range on the Serb, because like HML Serbs can hit you out to what, like
Yeah, you're right.
150 or some bullshit like
But
that.
I was talking about the other class of hacks. Like now suddenly Serbs are way better, and they probably would do something like reduce the max
Well,
lock
that's
range.
yeah, like reduce the max lock range on the Serb, because the max lock range on the Serb is just it's ridiculous right now. Because like Serbs are just as effective as Eagles as long as your FC knows how to drive and like kite away properly, right? Because like that's how you do it with missiles as opposed to with railguns. No, I would say like I like the Sino inhib, like the mobile. When I say mobile Sino inhib, I mean like the actual literally on grid mobile Sino inhib idea. I think that's a great idea. What's another? You know what I want to see actually is Tech 2
Navy
versions.
destroyers.
Oh yeah, Nate. I want to see
Yeah, that'd be cool.
pirate faction battle cruisers like a Garistas Ferox with heavy drones.
No,
No, that would be
that would be.
obnoxious.
You know how good Feroxes are, and you know how good Gilas are already. Do you want like a 300 mil ship that can do everything that a Gila and everything that a Ferox can?
Yeah, that's and then you throw out all the balance around Navy battle cruisers and oh yeah, command ships too, because that would be ridiculously overpowered. No, something like if there were Tech 2 ships I would like to see added, it would be Tech 2 versions of precursors and Eden comms. I think would be kind of cool.
I'd like to see command cruisers.
Like I would
you've
like to
gotta do
see.
all
We
sorts
don't
of-
need another T2 class of cruisers, bro.
I mean,
think we
well, no,
do.
but like when I say this, I mean like we need to see. It would be great to see like Triglavian command ship, Triglavian. Well, we got the Tech 2 version of.
Oh yeah, and those things are probably in the pipeline. But if you want a command cruiser, then that's what the T3C is.
Like a Leshak Marauder would be really fun.
Or a Leshak Blops.
A Leshak Marauder would just be the go-to incursion running ship.
Yes.
I mean, it would, yeah.
Why are we playing fantasy like what do we want in EVE Online? I just
Because
want
you
fucking-
haven't because you
this
haven't
was literally
directed
your
the show.
topic. Because yeah, you literally someone said the topic of what you want to see in Eve, and literally this is what we're coming up with. Like,
Oh, okay.
we're
cool.
we're
Sounds good to
going
me.
with what you're fucking like. You're hurting cats here, my dude.
Are there?
I
any
still want to
Tech
hear what
2
Dirk
faction and
thinks.
pirate ships yet? No, right?
There's AT ships.
I want
Dirk,
to see.
I still want to hear what's wrong with the current PvP meta.
I want to see Tech 2
Crickets.
faction ships that are not AT ships.
No, that's never gonna happen because they'd be silly.
Yeah, they'd
Even
be
if
silly,
even if
but
they
they'd be
weren't,
awesome.
they'd be awesome, but the BPCs would be like incredibly hard to get. Nobody would ever fly them because they'd be like $2 billion.
$2 billion? No, they'd be like 5.
Hey, thereabouts. Yeah, even then.
They'd be like Marshall expensive.
That doesn't stop people from flying Marshalls.
No, you know what? Like I want to. Here's a faction I want to see. I want to see the long-awaited marriage of Kaldari and Minmatar, some kind of faction. Make up something lore-wise. I don't give a fuck.
No, dude, that's really just what the Angel Cartel should be.
It's well, you're not wrong actually.
But yeah, I think if we had Thucker ships or what's it called? The blue Amar guys, are they AoE, AOM, EOM?
EOM.
EOM.
EOM, but that would be lore-wise, that would be Galente and Amar, because it's Amar ships with railguns and shield tanks.
Yeah, that'd be fucking
wouldn't that
badass.
Be Kaldari and Amar if they're shield and rail?
No. It doesn't. Yeah, maybe, I don't know. It doesn't really matter about. No, I think if they were gonna add like a Thucker ship line or an AOM ship line, then you should have to train Thucker and AOM skills. They should be treated as like the new factions they're adding, not the factions of the past. Pirate factions.
I would like
you know?
to see them expand the Conning Kingdom's ship range to more than just a couple of Tech 2 Amar ships.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying about Thucker. Yeah.
I mean, Kanu would be what Amar and Kaldari really as sort of base skills, because like
lore-wise, they were a bunch of guys who, when they broke away from the Amar, they started working with the Kaldari, and that's why they fly Amar ships with a lot of missiles.
You know what I want to see from CCP? A little bit more storyline development, because they haven't done that in about 5 years. Like, I sound like I'm crying, but I'm laughing because they haven't done that in 5 years. Like,
yeah, and anytime that they did, they always resort to like, oh, a new empress or emperor's getting crowned for the Amar, and oh, they got assassinated. Like
Just
that
something
happened.
they can do.
Yeah, like it was.
Need to put more gold magnates in the game.
Yeah, we're down to mild shock on the Amar Emperor assassinations. I remember when Jamil Sarum went down the first time, right?
The first time.
Right.
So
I
you're
wish
saying Jamil Sarum goes down what, multiple times?
Who does she go down on?
Can you give her my number?
I thought you weren't into girls.
Fuck
that's
off.
true. Why is the world arc not implemented as the Triglavian Titan? I want to see that.
That would be cool.
What about Triglavian facts?
Ramped
Oh
up
my
reps
god,
on
that would
capital.
be ridiculous.
Be crazy.
I mean, it's the same as when you're in a Zenitra. Like, if you bring a Zenitra to a Dread Bomb, it's just like, gee, I wonder who's getting primary today. Like you could literally Zenitra tank a fucking not a Komodo, a Cayman. Like, no one would pay attention to that. They're just like, oh yeah, get the giant floating fucking sieging vagina.
And
That's
I tell you
literally
what,
that looks like.
it's because it's a T-posing vagina.
It is a
Why
T-posing vagina.
That's why everyone wants to shoot it.
So
It all comes down to misogyny.
So more on the smaller scale of things, but an idea I've been kind of tossing around in my head for a while. But how would people feel if like each empire got a T2 destroyer, because there's not a lot of T2 for that area, that was like bonused against fighters?
I think
I
that's
would
an
not be
excellent
opposed
idea.
to that. Actually, that is actually a really good idea.
I
was
really
thinking,
like that idea.
Yeah, I was thinking a frigate would probably be better, but yeah, probably a destroyer because destroyers are very interesting to balance in that like if you're in a frigate fleet, you have to consider you have to make sure your destroyers are able to keep up with you, whereas um if you're in a cruiser fleet, it's more about like I don't know how to phrase this properly, so someone just start talking over me.
We thought okay, no, but we thought destroyer, but actually okay. So approach this like as a business standpoint, right? You've got CCP, and they have a finite budget, so they can't fucking send the art department to go make a new destroyer hull, because then if you're making a new T2, you got to make a new T1, and we've already got what, like each race has two. You got, like, for instance, the Corax and the Cormorant, right? So instead, you look at, okay, you need a new T2. Well, there's plenty of T2 hulls, or sorry, T1 hulls. There's at least one T1 hull per race in the frigate category that has not been used. I can think of the Amar one that's like, it's got fucking bay windows in the front of it. It's not the Punisher, or maybe no, it's not the Punisher. It's the other one. It's the Tormentor.
Tormentor.
Yeah, the Tormentor, right? So like the
Oh my
Tormentor
God.
doesn't have a T2 hull. The something or other, like there's got to be at least one per race that doesn't have a T2 hull. That's
No,
what you use
it's
that
Neutron,
just the Tormentor
you know-
because for the other races, frigate like that, they have it as the basis for the stealth bomber. But
Yeah, and
for,
no, even
right,
for
that's
the
right, that's
Tormentor,
right.
it's the basis for the Purifier. Like if you
no,
look
the
at
Inquisitor is the purifier.
That's right. It is
Oh,
the
really?
Inquisitor for the it is the Inquisitor for the Purifier, because I saw that thread on r/eve like a week ago, and there was this big discussion. That's
I mean,
right.
they
Okay, so
wouldn't
yeah,
necessarily have to make a new hull. I mean, like at least in the cruiser line, like I can just on Caldari, like you have your Moa that goes into the Eagle, but also goes into the Onyx.
Yeah, for everything, for aside from the Tormentor, it's just attack battle cruisers and the tier 3 battleships.
all right,
Yeah,
fine, CCP, pony up the money, make us a new fucking destroyer, and make us kill fucking fighters. You're welcome.
I was thinking of like maybe the Navy destroyer would have a bonus to like web effectiveness against fighters or something.
That's also a good idea, actually. I like that one. I appreciate that one. That's pretty cool.
Fredline,
Yeah.
what are we gonna do with the rest of the show, man?
I don't know, dude. There was a lot of stuff we could talk about, but we just never talked
Billy's
about
here.
it. He is here.
Okay, hold on. Everyone keeps talking about bringing back low-sec, and I'm just like, well, how the fuck do you do that? Like, there's no incentive
Passive
to bring
moons.
back low-sec.
Yeah, passive moons.
Passive moons, you bring back low sec. Passive moons, you bring back null sec.
I'm glad
kinda-
Maris is finally coming around to it.
So,
well, you
okay.
know, the time Gerg, I was like, wasn't there problems with passive moons? I was asking like completely in good faith. I had no idea like what the actual consensus on passive moons was. But now I've heard all the like everyone's clamoring for them back, so sure. They should probably be added back.
Okay, so passive moons, and then like yeah, but okay, but like in terms of that's parts of low sec, but I mean, like the most vibrant parts of low sec were always. I mean, you're talking to some guy who spent the better part of 7 years in waffles.
Make faction warfare good again, and even the non-faction warfare people will get.
I mean, how do you do that though? How do you do that though?
Good question.
Was it even ever good? Like how do you make it a flashpoint for conflict?
I think
if
most
it's
people
literally
agree
just
it was
something-
good until Citadels, because
Yeah.
it just kind of fucks up the reason for owning a faction warfare system or fighting over it. So I don't do faction warfare, but from what I've heard from people who do, like the general consensus is just make it so that you can't put Citadels in faction warfare systems that you don't own.
Even though people don't always agree that it was ever good, they all agree that it's been really bad since Citadels.
Okay. So, either way, low sec is dead. It'll always be dead because no one cares about low sec. Let's be honest.
Least of all,
Yeah.
Maybe someday someone will care enough to bring low sec back and do something with it. But
I've never had
fine.
more fun than the times when I've lived in Lowsec, but yeah, it's kind of dead.
Yeah, I mean, when was that? Like 74 years ago?
No.
I want to talk about something
Redline, have you
different.
ever lived in Losec though?
Yeah, dude, I live in Losec right now. What the fuck do you mean?
Where? With
I don't
who?
know.
Where?
In Losec somewhere.
NSH.
The system that I'm in is yellow.
What does that mean? I
It
don't know
means
what
it's
that
a
means.
low
Mar.
security.
Oh
No, it's low
okay.
security space.
No,
No,
a yellow
yellow-
thing would be
yellow is
0.5,
0.5.
idiot.
It's dark yellow.
That's
So it's
that's
piss
still a
colored.
0.5.
Whatever.
I mean, if you're pissed about that, you should go get that checked out, Redline. If I were you.
Yeah,
No.
I'd definitely get that checked out, bud.
No, I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah,
Oh,
so-
look who's late this time.
Hey, what's up?
Yeah, you fucking showing up 10 minutes left in the show. All right, let's hear it. What do you got for us, Alterari? You had shit to do? Did you have a fleet to run?
No, I was getting dinner with a hottie.
Jeez, what's his name?
Filthy girl kisser. Ugh.
Hey, Altar, you reckon these guys are gonna jump in?
No, they don't have the balls.
Ooh.
Bitch, I'll fucking jump in right now, solo. You know I will.
What, guys?
Bring a
Y'all
fleet
are,
with you.
y'all are trying to fight? Is that what you guys
Been
are
trying to
doing?
fight.
I
Come
love
on,
fighting
guys.
Alterari. He's a great guy. He's a good FC, and it's great shit talk afterwards. You know.
To be clear, what's happening here between Kale and Alterari is not fighting, it's flirting.
Facts.
It's kind of like a gangbang.
They're getting so close, up in each other's faces, where they can almost kiss, but they're not gonna kiss. But they can almost kiss, but they're not gonna kiss.
Sexual tension is so tight you can cut it with a knife.
In sexual tension in a fleet fight.
So, when are you guys gonna
Ooh.
come on in?
Who's
Water's
gonna
warm.
lose critical mass first?
Well, it's Tuesday, so it's a week from last Saturday. So 5 days, 4 days.
Oh, okay. I forgot to put a timeline on everything because that's smart.
Yeah, but we got to do all the move ups first, you know.
Alterari, it's a day ending and why they're still not coming to the gate.
It wasn't
yeah.
my idea.
Arcadios rage pinging to sit on a gate.
Right.
Is that what's happening?
Yeah.
Okay.
Flash foeing Munins under me. Same comms. Let's go. Sits on gate.
So should I not? Should I not come? I won't do it.
I mean, are you just breathing heavy?
No. What? God damn, so annoying.
Actually, you can't come unless I let you.
Oh wow.
Okay, this is going down a path I didn't expect it.
Was that intended to sound like
Well,
what I thought it sounded
it
like?
could have been better, but you know what?
You can come if you want.
So here's the thing. So what is actually happening? Is there some kind of like attack that's happening? Like, were you guys trying to attack T5Z? Is T5Z trying to attack you? Like, I don't get it. What's the deal?
I mean, right now there's a staring contest going on between two Munin fleets.
Okay,
Or-
where?
I'm getting out my carrier.
Eevee.
Where? EV?
Can we just point out that Luke and Alterari's avatars have matching outfits?
Why do they
They
have
do.
avatars and not Ragnarok's?
We need
They're
to get
very-
Slav
they're
back to
very
put the
cute.
same suit on. So we
They're
can have
very,
the
very cute.
holy trio. Thank you, Redline.
Yeah, thanks, Redline. So, the OK heist.
Mm-hmm.
The broken heist.
Well,
Oh, we got
allegedly,
there.
Apparently it's a secret.
If
but
you're
we've
Rich
talked about
Richmond,
that.
it's actually like completely fine. It works entirely as intended if you're Rich Richmond.
Oh,
And it's
okay.
not a secret. You just have to not be a pillock.
I didn't appreciate that at all.
I'm sorry,
Wait
I'm
for
late,
that to
Redline.
be a banned word on in the Discord.
I don't speak British, so I don't know what it means.
It's English.
I think it means it's time for final thoughts, isn't it, Redline?
Nope, it's not. Because everything's chill. We can just hang out. It's fine.
Casimir wanted to talk to Billy about some comments earlier. I was wondering if Casimir wanted to jump back in.
Yeah, like
Billy
I
here?
would love to. There were some direct comments, so I'd like to see if we could get a resolution to those. So, Casimir, are you still here? You're muted right now. But I think you're still here. You're probably in a fleet.
Sad. I know
Oh,
I am
there
still
he
here. I
is.
was distracted. What's the
Okay,
topic?
bet. Well, the topic is that you had some things that you wanted to talk to Billy about, and Billy is here now. So
Hi,
I
Billy.
was
Well,
wondering
I
if
think
you.
I said, I think I said pretty much what I had to say. Like I said, the Emperor has leaked what the terms of the treaty are, and that we're really only getting a 20% payoff number. And I think that should make clear to everyone just who is dependent on the TTC money, if anyone is.
Okay.
So if you're not dependent on it, then why didn't you go shoot it?
Well, we've already kind of talked about that, haven't we?
Yeah, but I
We
never got
honor our
a I
agreements.
never got a discreet answer. So
We honor our agreements.
Yeah, no,
So
I'll repeat my answer. Right, like the TTC has been in existence for I think a couple of years, maybe 3 now. I can't remember the exact date.
Close to three. Somewhere in that
Yeah,
region.
I started playing in 2010, right? And also, like I said, I know a lot of this year has been chatter about like people are thinking Eve is going to die or what have you, but that doesn't have to happen. There is no reason we can't all be playing this game, or some of us. I hope many of us win, right? In 5 years or in 10 or 15, the game has plenty of sustain left for that, right? So we're not going to give up our ability to say we always stick to our treaties just because we saw in this instance that it might get us some temporary advantage to kill the TTC. That makes no sense at all.
I mean, it's the same reason we're still paying out the goons, is we gave our word.
yeah, so why doesn't that apply to us? Why is there so much herf about that we didn't unanchor it?
Well, it's
does not that
because
apply to
Villy
us?
lied 2 weeks ago and came out and said, well, we're not dependent on this money. And that's why everyone was saying, well, why do you keep giving money to goons, right? Because he was saying, well, we don't need it. But of course, the answer is if they're receiving a lot more money, it's strategically in Test's interest.
I mean, you can be not reliant on it and still like the extra income.
Aren't you implying that the entire rest of the agreement goes to Horde and Tappy? How much of it goes to like the small groups that get their own cut, like the high-sec wardeckers who bash competing markets or snuffed out, since they get cuts too?
As I recall, stuff like paying off Wardeckers comes out before the split I'm referring to. That's like administrative expenses. I'd have to go look to be 100%.
Into the treaty, yeah, Kaz. Also, when did Snuffed Out start getting a cut? Who's them?
I thought they got a cut. Didn't they get a cut?
Snuffed Out started getting a cut when the low-sec TTT was put up, and they stopped getting a cut when the low-sec TTT was removed. And they never got a cut per se. They got a standard payment.
Okay.
And so this, so Kazanir says that a couple weeks ago on the show, when you said that you weren't, like, Tess isn't reliant on TTT money, that was a lie. Is that, do you have any counter for that? Like, is there anything you want to say to that? Like,
Well, the word reliant, like, is the key there, right? Like, yes, we like the money. That's absolutely true. Will our alliance fall apart without it? No, but it absolutely changes the principle of the way we, financially work. When you have that much less money, right? So the key word is reliant. Yes, are we reliant on the money? No, but do we like it? We very much like it. Yes.
I think the exact words were someone asked, "Is it keeping you in the war?" And
The wording exactly used was dependent, if I recall correctly, and we are not dependent on it.
Well, we'll find out if it's keeping who in the war, I guess.
Sure.
Does it change your plans for invasion?
It absolutely affects our plans, yeah.
I think it's just more now or never, even more so than before.
I mean, I think it's we're definitely at the now or never point. It's been this long, and hopefully it's now.
Basically just solidified that.
We gotta win. We gotta win.
I think everyone like put 2 and 2 together when like this was implemented, and then suddenly there's a clock.
I've put a lot of timelines on things tonight, but we're really enjoying being into week 56 of this ongoing stalemate.
I'm sitting on the 1DQ gate and in a battleship, and I'm drunk. Why haven't you guys come to get this easy kill?
To be honest, I was gonna form a fleet to drop you, but that means I couldn't talk on the show. I'd be sad.
Sounds like a lot of effort, Luke, for a drunk guy.
Yeah, I take the free kills when I can get them.
Also, dude,
Luke, when's
realistically,
Cryo coming?
He's at work.
I thought he got eaten by a bear.
I don't know bears in New Zealand.
also,
He
I
got eaten
heard
by a
you.
lizard.
I heard you say that this is a 50 weeks of stalemate. It's not been 56 weeks of stalemate.
I
It's
was
been
gonna say
56
that,
weeks of
Redline.
war, but it's only been a few weeks of stalemate. Like everything else has just been the Imperium getting steamrolled, like nonstop.
If we're talking about what is a stalemate and what is not, it would definitely be more than a couple weeks. It would be at least a couple months. Since what?
Well, I mean,
early
weeks,
May, I think.
Weeks turn into months.
That's when we
you
kind
know?
of slowed down and stopped.
But either way, that's not 56 weeks.
Oh, of course not.
Yeah, no, I was just seeing what I could get away with at this point.
Yeah, you think just because I'm not rocking that snake badge on my profile picture anymore that you can just lie on Trash Talk Tuesday? How could you?
You know, Redline, I
Lies
was just wondering what
on a
you're
trash talk show?
out.
Never.
You were wondering what?
I'm just wondering what you were willing to call out, is all.
Oh, I still
Push the
call out all
boundaries a little
bullshit. There's the boundary is very like it's non-existent. Like if it's bullshit, I'll call
That
it out.
said, we are. It is not a lie to say that we are into week 56 of this ongoing conflict.
You're correct. It is not a lie to say that. It is, however, a lie to
I
say that
saw
we're
you,
in week
Marius.
56 of
We're-
the stalemate. But that's okay.
We're
That's
really
that's
enjoying
semantics.
this 13-month conflict. Thank you, Billy et al.
Hey, Billy, are you going to be the first to jump in when you guys commit caps?
I
In your
always am.
Komodo?
Always am.
I just got this picture in my head of you being the only one to jump.
Well, I mean, that's
We
the
can
image the
dream.
goons are
We
trying
can
to
dream.
propagate, right?
No,
Like they
no,
made
no.
another like Komodo thread this week, and I was like, holy cow.
No,
I'll get right on that for you.
Putting
It's
the
not-
image that we were all
it's-
thinking
I'm
into
sorry.
words. Well
I'm
done,
sorry.
Redline.
It's not I'm not trying to propagate anything. It's just like, you know those when you like you have a like you're about to you see like a comic or something, they're about to jump somebody, and then the one guy is just like jumping forward ready to go and the other guys just step back. And then the one guy's like, guys, like that. I picture that in my head and it's hilarious. I don't think it'll happen, but it's
It's a
hilarious.
funny image, but
very
you know,
funny.
obviously
It
we're
is.
not going to be jumping into a situation where people are not confident to jump in to begin with. That's just not how you use
It's a
supers,
group
right?
decision.
It very much
Of-
is, unfortunately.
Of course it's a group decision.
So,
Although
what
it's
happened with M2 then?
It was
What
a
do you
group
mean?
decision.
That was a group decision. We've talked about M2 until we were blue in the face. We don't have to touch on M2 anymore. I do want to touch on one thing that I saw recently, which I thought was really stupid. And it's that apparently during the vulnerability times for like your stuff, you were turning off the cynojammers and trying to goad people into jumping in. Like that's gonna happen.
Our
And
jammers
then
are rarely online.
right, but you do realize how stupid it would be for people to jump in mass into that system regardless of whether the jammer's up or not, right?
I mean, yeah, but M2 happens, so I mean, they make stupid decisions all the time,
Yeah,
obviously.
why we're expecting it for a reason, right?
If they could actually put together a surprise attack, they might have a chance.
History repeats
Well, and
itself.
again, PGL came right out and very strongly implied that that's what they're going to do on his town hall, as I recall. He was talking about jumping stuff in until either Pappy or we have nothing left or not enough to prosecute the war, right? So that would be really interesting if it occurs.
Kazner, correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like we've done this before in an NPC system somewhere in Delve.
I mean, it's been a long war.
memories not quite as long as some people wish they were.
It has been a really long war. It's crazy. What's the longest war that's ever happened then, Eve? Is this it?
This is it.
This is absolutely it. There's nothing even remotely close. The closest war before this was the Test Fraternity War, which was 8 months.
It's not true. The Great War was technically longer, but it was not open and sustained military hostilities for the entire time. But the
The
Great
Great
War
War is like a meme war where people who weren't in it talk about it as if it was like some continual war. Great War was like there's more continual war in the like lead up to this war over like horde and goons
That's
than there were.
exactly what Kaz just said.
No, but he implied that like that was actual like real war when it really wasn't. Like
I mean,
was there conflict?
The Great War was substantial conflict that resulted in
there was 3 1-month periods of conflict within the Great War.
But there was
and
conflict,
then like
right?
and then like what, a year and a half worth of people being nipped, not nipped, sitting on their sides of the map, etc. Like I don't consider that like continual war, even in like a
it
remote
was not
sense.
it was not sustained military hostilities. That's true.
Like, you know, horde and goons are sitting on the opposite side of the map like for 2 years before that. Like they didn't like each other, but you know you could call that like a continuation of the Casino War or World War B1 or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah,
and like
but no, the periods of intense hostility in the Great War led to multiple regions changing hands multiple times, right? It started with Bob controlling half the map, and it ended with them holed up in Delve, right? So even if the intense periods of fighting during that time were not, you know, even if they were relatively short compared to the thing's overall duration, it was still, I still think it qualifies as the largest and longest war ever.
Well, so
the amount of regions that changed hands was smaller than what's changed hand in this war.
So is that you
and
conceding
smaller
that it
than
is
what
a
changed
casino
hand
war?
in the Winter War? Like, you know, it's not, like were you in the Great War? Were you involved in?
No. I started
Okay,
playing in
of course.
2010, like I said.
So somebody, I have seen a lot of interesting like posts and thoughts lately about how Frat is going to be the real winner of this war here. Kazanir, as an economic genius for goons, do you have any concerns about Frat becoming a bigger economic powerhouse than goons anytime soon?
Please don't give Kaz a larger head.
I mean, I don't see it as competitive, honestly, in that sense. One of the great things about economic building is that you have more people playing in space, right? And they generate their own demand, right? It's not like we make money just because we figured out some magic trick. We make money because people are playing, right? And those people are also buying stuff. They're investing time and energy into the game, right? I think if Fraternity ends up going that way, that can be great for the game. I don't really perceive that as a threat on its own terms.
So you don't think someday that Frat will come down and say hello to you?
Frat
Well,
of NTZ wonders. They form massive in AU and CNTZ, but not much elsewhere. So it's not much of a threat defensively.
Well, I mean, when you say form massive, what are you talking about? Are you saying they're going to have such an economic powerhouse that they then would outnumber us in military hardware, and that could be a problem? That could be a potential threat. I would be interested to hear about when Fraternity is going to build a lot more Titans, or anyone for that matter.
Yeah, the
But
reality
that would take
is
another
that with the
hour
current
of
industry
discussion.
With the current industry mechanics, nobody, like, it doesn't matter if you number your opponent 10 to 1 in an industrial activity. Nobody's building like shit all for like super capitals because there's no point, especially when the market is still depressed to the point where you're buying supers and titans for 60% of their current build cost, right? Nobody's going to be like, let's put in some titans in the cooker when I can just go buy one for 60-70% of what they cost to put in the cooker.
Do you think that
when are
the
people going to build them
changes in
again?
scarcity?
People will build them again when the price, which is this. So right now we have an issue where demand is low and supply is high, right? Or I shouldn't say supply is high, but supply is significantly higher than demand. And right now, because the price is so high, it keeps that demand low, right? You have a situation where nobody's interested in paying 160 bill for a Titan anymore because Titans have very limited use cases and because there's a lot of price memory where Titans used to be 50, 60, 70, 80 bill. So people are like, I don't want to spend 160 for Titans, so nobody's buying Titans, which drives the price of Titans down from 150 to 140, 130, 120, wherever people are buying them, and then people are buying them. But like the actual build price of a Titan is up at like 200. So people are like, like the market just doesn't work right now, and it won't work for a very long time until a lot of the Titans in circulation are literally just aged out.
Yeah, I mean the Feldestry changes really had pretty much exactly the effect that we predicted, right? Which is that
Feldestry?
they lock in the power of existing capital and super capital holders because those just got a lot more difficult to build it. And the reasons for that are many. It's not just the changes to the blueprints, right? But it's also the overall state of the EVE economy. I think you would be able to see people exploring the idea of paying 160 billion for a Titan if, in fact, it were easier to make 160 billion. But we've had several years of that not being the case, right? So it does all play together, and we're pretty happy. Thanks, CCP.
If only there was some big war going on where we could get a bunch of supers killed.
I mean, that would be nice, wouldn't it?
Just got to get them out of that system or that constellation.
Oh, they're never coming out, dude.
We gotta fumigate the constellation, dude.
Yeah, fumigate the beehive.
Got to go into the caves and fight them hand to hand. I know.
So do you think that the changes to scarcity that are coming in December, I believe, right, are going to affect these capital prices in a dramatic way, or has the need
The
for the
devil is in the
PI?
details.
Yeah,
The devil is in
PI.
the details. It depends how they do it, how they adjust the numbers. There is so many factors that it's not like, oh, they press two buttons and everything's fixed. There is a multitude of things that need to be adjusted, and not once they are adjusted, they need to be monitored quite significantly and then adjusted again. And on top of that, even if you adjust those numbers, that does not mean the economy will come back to a healthier state, because people have to be doing the activities to put those materials into the ecosystem to begin with. And some of those activities are still broken in a variety of different ways. So the fix is not short term, even in a case where the upcoming industry changes might alleviate some pressure.
So, somewhere in the region of 3 to 5 months, we're going to see a bunch of changes to the scarcity and resource distribution of New Eden that is unlikely, in your view, to actually make any significant difference to the economy of EVE Online.
Depends how you define the word significance. I think that any change to industry, from anything as simple as refining to, or to like any change, you name it, like the smallest fractional difference change can make big differences. So like just saying what it like there will be no significant changes, I don't know what you mean by that, right? Like do I think that 200 Titans are going to go into build the next day? No. Do I think 5 will? Probably not, but it's possible. Like, there's these questions are so in depth, and the the predictions, like, to be honest, they're just not worth making, because trying to figure out how the EVE economy is going to work, one, doesn't really provide you with a ton of value, and B, like, you're just speculating into oblivion.
You know what? I respect that response. That's a very fair response. Can I ask a follow up, which is, do CCP understand the complexity that you are talking about and they are impacting? Do they have a?
I will withhold my opinion.
How do I say this without just being incredibly debilitatingly rude? Do they have a grasp on the sheer scale of the problem in front of them?
I will withhold my opinion.
What could possibly be more comforting than that?
I mean, I'm
not
sure,
here to comfort you.
I'm sure that they do
Oh, I
have
know. I'm just saying
some sort of
for
like
the viewers' benefit, you know.
grasp. They have to have an idea at the very least of what they're up against, right?
I mean, even if when they remove scarcity and they presumably put the anomalies back to where they close to where they were or somewhere like that, and they put all the ore back into space, like there's no guarantee that it's going to affect capital prices because they added all that shit to their industry that's not mineral based, which is kind of the point of Feldistry in the first place, so that they had more levers that weren't just
Okay,
minerals.
guys, why are you calling it Feldistry?
That's what.
Like,
Because
what?
Kenneth's
Is this like a
fault.
propaganda thing? Like, you're trying to
It
be like,
is.
it's Kenneth's fault for all this shit. Like,
I mean, Kenneth has already come out, and as I said at some point, that like he had a very large role in how they shaped this.
Yeah, I mean,
This is all based on stuff that Kenneth has said himself. He put himself in front of this. He told us that it was
here's
based
what I'll
on his
say.
plan. Like, he
Ke-
said
Kenneth-
these things. We have the quotes, Billy.
Kenneth has been a steamroller making that road drivable. Okay? That does not mean he directed the road. Like, I don't know what I can realistically say. But, like, you guys may be like, this is Kenneth's fault. It's like, you guys owe Kenneth 1,000 times more than you know in some of this shit.
But they want to say repeal man bad
No, honestly,
we
like
just
my
don't
opinion
want
on it is
people to be standing in front of the CCP fucking
Yeah, I mean,
steamroller.
if he didn't want to be credited for it, then he could have simply taken the option of not going out on CCP's show when they announced the patch and taking credit for it. It's really very simple.
Talked about a lot of the details on that show as well, and in the following weeks before the thing was released.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough.
I mean, really, like I don't have a problem with a lot of how the industry stuff was redone. Although I know the people have their gripes, but my concern is that without someone as smart at industry as Kenneth is on there, it probably would have been even worse, no matter what your opinion is on it.
This seems like something CCP was going to do anyways, and Kenneth.
As I said, Kenneth doesn't choose the road. He just acts as a steamroller to make it drivable.
Then Kenneth needs to not put himself in front of the fucking raging mass of puppies.
One of the things you will learn if you ever end up on the CSM is that even if it's not the best for you, sometimes helping CCP is the best for everybody.
I'm not gonna deny that.
Even when it comes to just helping them in PR and taking the rocks, because I've done that a couple times for CCP on stuff I disagreed with, but I sat on the shows and said this was a good idea.
No, and to my knowledge, Kenneth had his own kind of presentation that he was bringing.
Yeah,
to
he
CCP.
did. So yeah, he can eat, whatever he eats.
But then it was changed though. Like it was changed from what his original presentation was to something different, and that's what ended up actually getting released.
Kenneth's commentary on this has varied wildly, just as a point. Like,
I know it's tricky what you can say and you can't say with NDA stuff, so you just kind of.
The reason that we have called it Feldistry since before it was released is because
I get why.
got in
I
front
get
of the bullet.
Before the show, I just haven't heard people like actually calling it in like a non-meme way, Feldistry, but everybody seems to be using that term pretty consistently now. So I was like, oh, is this a thing?
Oh
or
yeah,
is this
no,
like
it's a real thing.
It's much like Fozzysov. If you want to be the person standing in front of the bullet, then you be the person standing in front of the bullet. But don't be surprised when people, shoot you with it.
Yeah. With the bullet? Interesting.
Where'd Rich Richmond go? Where did he go?
He left a while ago. Yeah, he got eaten by a bear. He heard that Villy was coming, so he ran off.
Oh yeah, because he keeps losing those rap battles.
Yep.
Was Rich talking shit again?
No.
No, but
he was rambling about some bullshit.
Yeah, he was going on about some crazy bullshit, Billy. It was ridiculous.
He called Redline a pillock.
Yes, he did.
Real question. Do anybody but the Brits in the room actually understand what he meant by that?
Yes.
A phallus.
I most certainly did not understand what he meant.
presume it was an insult.
I did, but that's because I'm Canadian, so I kind of have a general sense of what you.
I mean, I grew up watching like those old British comedies, like Mind Your Language and stuff. So yeah, I understood it.
The fuck does it mean?
Means he's a fucking idiot.
Fair enough.
Like in a nutshell.
Like you might like that's why I asked. I was like, is he as bad as a bell end? And someone was like, yeah, that's basically the equivalent one. I think it was the Scottish guy who was here earlier.
Well, Bellend's a dickhead. So
I mean, yeah, but that would describe Rich Richmond then.
As a bellend? Oof.
Yeah,
Right,
Rich
but
Rich Richmond's a very, very, very lovable bell end. Let's be honest.
the etymology of pillock is just it also just means penis. So I don't get how it's worse than bell end or
Well, it depends.
anything else.
I guess bell end is a certain because like in the UK apparently like most of you Brits are not circumcised, whereas apparently over here we are. I don't know. That's just what I've heard.
Circumcision is British identification. Okay, I understand it now.
Don't ask me how I know that, but apparently that's just a thing.
I have a
Father
lot of
Bell's got
questions
a
now.
point. This is a Christian stream. Redline did play some Jesus music a few streams ago.
Oh, did he? Okay, well then, kids, get your fucking kids' dick snipped. Welcome to Christianity.
What the fuck?
Jesus.
That's right. Jesus said, "Get your kids' dick snipped."
All right. Well, anyways, I think that's gonna.
Wasn't that the Old Testament God, not the New Testament God? I think I'm getting confused.
It was definitely
you're
the
a
Old
Gnostic.
Testament. Definitely the Old Testament God who was talking about making sure everybody gets circumcised.
So, Billy.
I think that what we're gonna do is instead of that, we are going to circumcise the stream for the night and cut it, because that just seems like a good idea for everybody involved. So, does anybody
Well,
have
we
any
know what-
final thoughts for us before I roll the credits and send us to raid some unsuspecting person?
Send us to raid Shadow Legends.
Radicos did nothing.
The online multiplayer experience where you
Did
can
somebody have a question for me there?
I
at the end?
did. I do.
Go ahead with the question.
Billy, when are you going to lead another fleet?
I was sitting around waiting all night tonight for you guys to do something. Nothing happened. I was like sitting in the Discord channel, like, I wonder if they're gonna do something. Like, nope. So that's why I wasn't here.
As I said to Kazner earlier on tonight, be the change you want to see in the world.
Corms, you want to go 1v1 in Corms?
Me, I have never liked corn fleets. I find it.
No, he said
Retries versus Harpies. We'll do Retries versus Harpies.
That's a good one.
Rich
Right there.
Rich
That's a good
win.
matchup.
I tried to kill what's his name? Gregorian.
Oh yeah, that.
Gerger, you still out in space with that Tempest?
Yeah, I'm currently tethered on the Keepstar though, but I'll be back in a little bit. I'll grab another beer and then head back to the gate.
Greg, if I find a delve hole, you better 1v1 me. Don't be a little bit about it.
All right, team.
So, Billy, Retries versus Harpies, you down?
When?
Right now.
Right now.
Oh no, I'm going to bed as soon as this is over.
I'll hit you up on Discord later this week. We'll figure it
And
out.
that's a great way to cap off your day. Holy fuck.
This is boring. Makes me tired. Helps me go to sleep.
Yikes, dude. That's fucking toxic. Holy
Goddamn.
shit. All right.
Horrible.
Anyways, scratching test off my potential joining alliances. Fucking.
No,
Last I checked, you already left the area, so
Oh,
we know you're not
did
coming
I?
back.
Did I? Did I leave
You
the
guys
area, Billy?
can't
Did I?
chat shit about Billy for that comment. There has been at
We
least
can't.
like an hour of this evening that I have just tuned out and read something else while you guys
You
were chatting
tuned
shit.
out? What does that mean?
I mean, I was playing League
It's
of Legends
Tuesday,
at some
innit?
point. Tuesday. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead.
No, I didn't
and-
even listen to the stream for the first 2 hours, and apparently you guys were all talking mad shit. And I'm like, I come in, and everybody's like, "Yeah, stuff
Hey,
happened."
I still talk shit when you're here. Come on now.
You at least tried, yeah.
Yeah, A for effort over here. Execution, I'll take a D on that one today.
I mean, I just really gotta say some words, right?
El Terrari will take a D any day, but
As
we
a,
can talk about what he does in private.
I'm just gonna mute the Discord because I'm talking directly to the stream right now, and to the people in Discord, and to the greater Eve community as a whole. You guys really, really, really need to get better about how you exist within your community, because honest to God, like all this bullshit that I've seen on Twitter recently, just get over it. Let yourselves move past it, and just think to yourself before you do something that's really stupid, or just like super mean in general, or just like you being a terrible person, just think about how you can be a better person, right? I can fucking hear all of you talking. The stream can't hear you, though. I'm trying to give an important speech here, and you're just sitting in here.
What are you trying to say? You're like literally, you're just like you just.
I'm trying to say,
Quit
EVE Online
Bojangling,
community,
Redline!
you need to fucking be better.
Bojangle.
Be better. And here's credits, and I'm gonna send you to somebody, and you're gonna be super
Be awesome
nice
to each
them.
other, motherfuckers.